Hello, my profane friends. How are you, my profane friends? Today is about dib, 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 dob, dob, dob. Be prepared to get your bum stretched by an MM. What's an MM, you may ask? A master molester. You know what I mean? In the Boy Scouts. So today we're going to go on, because I've just watched that Netflix program, about the Boy Scouts of America and the abuses. I've already done a video on it. I'm going to show you it in a little bit. I'm not going to show you the video. I'm going to show you where it is. And you can go watch that yourself. But again, they've nowhere mentioned the Freemasons, where all the head scoutmasters, right? So let's not be fooled by these people. Don't let them fool you. You know what I mean? As everything is never or not going to be all right for anyone. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to jump off like today. Like I said, we've got a bit of a script and a spiel going through here, and I'm going to talk you through it. You know me, I don't like to brag about Freemasons, but when I do, I do. This is the Masonic Increasing Army, Masonic Increasing Army Part 8. I did the Scouts on this, right? I dedicated the actual nearly an hour and 45 minutes I dedicated to the Boy Scouts of America. All right, so go to Masonic Increasing Army. Obviously you can go into my playlists or just go to my videos and keep scrolling down. Where am I? Even I get lost. Oh, here we are, and there it is. Look, Masonic Increasing Army Part 8. And then that'll take you again. This is where I'm talking about the youth groups, and again, Masonic Netflix have left it out and haven't even mentioned it, which is typical. But before we go into the Masonic Boy Scouts, I'd just like to remind you, that look, the MOD admitted over 350 sexual abuse complaints have been made by cadets, and that's the Army cadets, all right? And these are the same thing. If you look who runs the Army cadets or Sea cadets and all of that, right, you'll find out they're all Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? Because they keep putting their people in charge of everything. Again, look, Army Cadet Force, then this is what they do. This is part of the shush up, because if we do this and we humiliate them, maybe they won't go through with it and prosecute us. Do you know what I mean? So what they do, look, Army cadets are forced to put young victims through a court-martial style hearing to dissuade them from reporting sexual abuse by their captain. Do you see what I mean? Because they're all complicit in it. And that's the thing with the thing today, any helpline that you try and go to, it's controlled by Freemasonry, and all their job is basically is to try and do damage control or dissuade you from speaking out. Do you know what I mean? And that's all that is. That's what we got running society today. Do you know what I mean? Actually, the good thing is people ain't shushing up no more. They're actually talking about it and getting out there, aren't they? So it's wonderful for us, the profane. But this is all again. But if you look at it, it's all all this is arranged by the captains. Again, they're not wearing their Masonic aprons. You know what I mean? You just think it's normal Joe Blogs, but behind it, you'll find it's all to do with Freemasonry. So it's not just about Boy Scouts; it's about everything: Girl Guides, Brownies. Do you know what I mean? All them top people that are in charge. Obviously, you see me. Whether you've seen the videos or not, I've talked to Girl Guides and Cubs and that in my videos, do you know what I mean? And about the Freemasonry within. But that's another story, my profane friends. But look it up, just search it, You've only got to go Army Cadets, Sea Cadets or whatever, and you come up with the truth, do you know what I mean? Look, if I do it again, look, Sea Cadets, look. Sea Cadets, abuse. And the people in charge of it, look, former Sea Cadet who claims sexual abuse by a commanding officer. Do you see what I mean? But if you find out who the commanding officers are, they're actually Freemasons. But because no one actually questions that, you know what I mean, or says about it, no one, the Freemasons again, they've shushed it up perfectly. That's what I'm going to show you again today. Masonic Scoutmaster, look. Not Scoutmaster, sorry. Masonic Sea Cadets, right? Go like that, Sea Cadets. Bang. And there you go, look. See? And you can get image out of image, of the Freemasons standing toe to toe with Sea Cadets. Do you know what I mean? See, and that's, you know, so again, they're always in charge of it. Look. So I mean, let's see cadets, cubs, look, they're standing there's your worshipful master. Do you know what I mean? But today I'm covering the scouts. I'm not covering the obviously the sea cadets or anything. Do you know what I mean? Look, see the Freemason, look, the youth group, look, and they wonder why they're getting their bums stretched. You know what I mean? Because you're involved with Freemasonry. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's a bum stretching charity. You know, so but there you go. Dib dib dib, dob dob dob. You know what I mean? Be prepared, as the scouts say, to get your bum stretched by an a master molester. You know what I mean? But that's, you know, there you go. You know, and again, look, you've got, you know, like the, you know, sea cadets, the Lord Mayor. Do you know what I mean? You've got the heraldry, look, on the right. Do you know what I mean? And this is what it is. You know, and all these top people that are running this, yeah, they're all to do with Freemasonry, because they're, you know, like I said, that's your town hall. Look, it's all Masonic. Look, see, all Masonic, yeah, because they control it all. And like I said, by controlling it all, you control the Masonic army. Look, you see, you control that Masonic army. It's fucking madness. Look, see, so when I say they're an army, I mean they're literally and physically a fucking army, and they control the land, the air, and the water, which is law, LAW, land, air, water. Do you see what I mean? So, and the Freemasons are grooming your kids all the time, yeah, to keep that what do we call it? You know, to keep that loyalty, whether that's loyalty through the cadets or the sea cadets or the army cadets or whatever way you want to shove it. Do you know what I mean? These people are grooming your kids and preparing them for war, just like in Hitler's time when he used all the children. You know, come and join our, you know, our youth group, and you were fighting like, you know, you had 15-year-old children with rifles and you know, grenade launchers or whatever, fighting, you know, the war for Hitler. Do you know what I mean? Old men, you know what I mean, that have groomed these kids. Do you see what I mean? Because that always boils down to the kids, you know what I mean? The next generation, you know. And if we can control the kids, we control the narrative, don't we? Do you know what I mean? So there they are, look. See, Freemasons. And they're in everything. And when I say they're in everything, they're in everything. And they put their little Masonic, you know, master molesters in charge of all of these organisations. Do you know what I mean? And nothing's ever been said or talked about with it. Do you know what I mean? So here we go. We're now back into here, right? So we're gonna, and this is me now. You're gonna hear me moaning about. There's about 3 videos I think I did, 3 or 4, where I thought, and I was really excited, yeah. And I thought they were going to mention the Freemasons, but as usual, it's all shushed up. But I'm going to show you once again, like I did in my past video that I did maybe 3 years ago. You know, where, you know, everything to do with that, with them scouts being molested, is all to do with Freemasons, you know what I mean? And they were the master molesters of the scout groups, you know what I mean? So here we go, look. Hey, friends, I've been waiting for this. Scouts of Honour, the secret files of the Boys Scouts of America, where they all got abused, yeah? Now, I've done a video on this in the Masonic Increasing Army, I think part 7, yeah, where all the Scoutmasters are Freemasons, right? Now, I've just started watching this. I'm 1 minute 12 in, okay? There he is, look, Worshipful Master, Mason. But, so, I'm going to see how many times during this, yeah, how many times they mention Freemasons. Because they know it was all Freemasonry, but again, it'll be covered up. Do you know what I mean? It'll be shushed. Now, here we go. Look, here's the first Freemasons straight away, look. Okay? They're just not wearing that, again, as per usual, they're not wearing their aprons. Do you know what I mean? And as you can see with the boys in the back, this is how this is the same thing with Freemasonry. You earn badges, you know, on your aprons, you know, or medals around your neck. Do you know what I mean? Same as in Freemasonry. But this is where they recruit, you know what I mean? And, you know, obviously, you know, the abuse that went on within this system, yeah, was all shushed up. Again, more Freemasons, look, in the White House. There he is, look, one of the biggest bloody con artists you could ever freaking put on the planet. Do you know what I mean? But I'm going to see out of interest, there's the fleur de pistlet, which obviously is a Masonic emblem anyway, which is the Scouts, Cubs things. So I'll do a bit more post on it anyway, and we'll just let it go on for now.
God will command you to be trustworthy, loyal.
Look, Your scout law, right, commands you to be trustworthy, loyal, and helpful. Yeah, these are commands by the Masonic order.
Helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, plain, and reverent.
There it is, look. See, another Freemason, look. Another. And the thing is, right, all that where they've got to be courteous, courteous, honest, and all the rest of it, honest. You know, if you haven't got honest people leading you, you know, like in our governments, yeah, and they're not honest and they're corrupt, yeah, and they're all like paedophile Freemasons and all that. Who do you think's going to shush up all this crime? And this is why it goes on and on and on and on, yeah? And until you oust these people out of power, it'll never stop, it'll never end, because you haven't got trustworthy people in control of your towns or cities, yeah? You've got corrupt people in control of your towns and cities, and they're all on an agenda. Anyway, let me carry on. Here's the other Freemason, look. Mr. I can't even remember his name. Who is that again? You know, the one with the hair, anyway. Freemason. All the Boy Scouts, look. All them Boy Scouts being abused, look. We're talking hundreds of thousands of them. Do you know what I mean? All done by Freemasonry, all done by design. Do you know what I mean?
For yourself.
Anyway, we'll see how many times the Freemasons are actually mentioned in this. Or is it another big shush up? Have a great day, my profane friends. And there's that video. Now we go to this. As usual, my profane friends. There's no symbolism yet, right? But again, look, watch this. Look, this is the numbers.
One of the biggest youth organizations in the country filed for bankruptcy protection.
See, they filed for bankruptcy, but who are you going to take? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, these are all Freemasons. Yeah, everything's shushed up. Yeah, watch. Listen to what she says.
The Scouts face an onslaught of lawsuits from men who claim they were sexually abused, sometimes going back decades
by Scoutmasters and other leaders, which were all Freemasons, yeah? Same as Jimmy Savile, yeah? Everything to do with Freemasonry goes back decades, and it's always the masters and the leaders, yeah? Okay?
Scoutmasters and other leaders.
More than
82,000 alleged victims span generations, yeah? And now look at that. You go look at the Masonic lodges, yeah, on a map. They're exactly the same placements as where all these Boy Scouts were abused. All the Masonic lodges, look. That's what they are, Masonic lodges, look.
victims span generations.
People need to understand what happened, what took place.
A day of reckoning for the Boy Scouts of America.
And there it is, look, the fleur de pisse. You know what I mean? The people that ran the Scouts were all Freemasons, but they ain't going to get mentioned through here. I'll be surprised if they do.
An American institution in turmoil. The Boy Scouts of America filing for bankruptcy.
This is history's
largest case of child sexual abuse. And do you know what? The biggest shush up again is that Freemasons were all the Scoutmasters. Go watch my video, yeah? I'll show you it in the video anyway, yeah? Because I'm going to put all this together, hopefully. But again, you'll see Scoutmaster after Scoutmaster are Freemasons, Freemasons, Freemasons within the lodge. Right, that's the next video. There's two more, and then I'll get into the spiel of things. All right, my profane friends. Now, I just turned this is the third vid. Listen, I think they're going to, from what I've just heard, right, yeah, with Freemasons, I think they're going to mention the Freemasons. I really think they are. They're going to do it, mate. I think they're going to do it. I'm so excited. Oh, my God. Listen to this. Look, this is the... Watch this. Just listen. I'm sure they're going to do it. They're going to mention it. Listen.
Case of child sexual abuse connected to one organization.
Connected to one organization. Look. Connected to one organisation. Larger than any youth-serving organisation.
Any other youth-serving organisation.
Larger than the Catholic Church. Larger than the Southern Baptist Church. They're going to mention them, aren't they?
Catholic Church. Larger than the Southern Baptist Church. They want to know what.
They want to know what happened and they want the truth to come out. I wonder if they've gone off my video. I hope they have, you know. If my video was involved in, like, just waking some of these people up and they've gone shit, yeah, and gone off on their own tangent from my video, Do you know what I mean? And that's done this. I really hope it has. I really do. But obviously it ain't, you know what I mean? But I was there. Remember, my video was first before this. So that's still good for me anyway. They want to know what... Here we go. Get ready.
They want the truth to come out. And they want to know who knew what, when did they know it, and how did this happen to them.
They don't want to face the evil that lurks within. There's a cancer in the Boy Scouts.
See, there's a cancer within the Boy Scouts. Right, I'm getting so excited. They're going to mention it.
As a secret, even after everything. Something I never told anybody. Not even my own children. I got a text message from one of my children today that said...
See, people are not keeping shush anymore. They're talking about it, you know what I mean? If you're getting raped or abused and you're in the Great Yarmouth area or Galston, come and see me. I'll try and protect you. I'll get your story out, you know what I mean? I'm telling you now, babies, don't keep shush, because the abusers are continually abusing people continuously. Anyway, I'm so excited. They're going to mention them, and when they do, I'm going to love it. Anyway, have a great day, my profane friends. Right, so there that is, yeah, I'm getting really excited watching this programme, thinking they're going to mention the Freemasons. I'm so excited. I'm even excited now because I still think they were going to do it, you know what I mean? Baby, Scouts honour, baby. I don't care if I bring down the whole temple down, yeah? I don't care if I bring the whole temple down, but I don't think they're going to mention the Freemasons. I really don't. Just by this, I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think. And is he a Freemason? Look. And this is where my suspicions come straight away. You know what I mean? They were talking like, obviously, you know, I'm just giving you clips of what I, you know, tape recorded or whatever. But you guys, when you watch it, listen for the word and where they talk about the level. You know, the level of, you know what I mean? So they hint at it, I think, you know, and where they go about the temple. But as soon as they started doing that, talking about the level and the temple and that, I just knew at this point that they just weren't going to mention the Freemasons, you know what I mean? But I'm going to mention them in a minute, and I'm going to show you how involved they were within the scout group and how possible it is for them to always shush things up and disappear like rats off the ship, do you know what I mean? But anyway, let's carry on.
Temple bound on everybody's heads. I will not stand for this. This is an abomination.
This is an abomination, yeah? But is he a Freemason? Do you know what I mean? He's saying I'll bring the whole temple down on the head. But I don't think, I'm doubting already whether they're going to do that. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to mention Freemasonry because they're so powerful. And if they were, like I said, would Netflix even play that? Do you know what I mean? So again, I think it's going to be shushed up. And that's 4 minutes in, 4 minutes 30 seconds. I think they're not going to mention the Freemasons. I really do. Anyway, we'll see. Have a great day, my profane friends. And at this point, you can hear my voice is like changed from excitement to disappointment. You know what I mean? Oh, Boy Scouts of Honour. But again, look, right? When you're a whistleblower, yeah, and he's doing the reporting, he's the one being attacked for reporting about the cases. Do you see what I mean? This is what they do to blow. But the people who are attacking him are the Freemasons. Do you see what I mean? It's not the normal people who are, you know, with a normal, like, profane brain. Do you know what I mean? The people that are having a go at him are the Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? Because it's all about, you know, this is what they do. They target whistleblowers because they know all the people involved are Freemasons. They still haven't mentioned Freemasons yet, by the way. So listen to this. Oh. What happened? Oh, yeah.
First did the stories and said there were 400 cases. People told me I was making a big thing out of nothing.
So 400 cases is a big thing out of nothing, right? Right, and they're saying that's really not there. There's not that many cases, right? But watch this. Listen.
Not that many cases. I got a lot of angry letters from people saying you're smearing the Boy Scouts of America over a problem that's really minuscule. People kept using that word. How dare you accuse the Scouts of this? You're trying to ruin this organization. You really had to go out on a limb to make a public accusation against the Boy Scouts because you were accusing usually a respected community leader.
See, a respected community leader. Yeah, and that's what we've got leading our communities, these respectable community leaders. But they just, well, you know what my view is.
What many people would consider the worst crime imaginable. But but there is a truth there, and even if it's an inconvenient truth, I'm going to get at the truth. And I ended up being one of the ways that these files became public.
See, and again, it's all about the shush up and the money. You know what I mean? Because there's money involved. Because, you know, obviously it's a big business. You know what I mean? Same as Freemasonry, it's big business, isn't it? Yeah, and they're getting money hand over fist, and you know, and they're not poor. They're not, you know. Do you know what I mean? And this is the thing. This is what Freemasonry runs on. Do you know what I mean? And it's the reputation that people don't. You know, they're not even mentioned Freemasons. We're now like 13 minutes in, and there's not one mention of Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, my profane friends, we'll let it carry on. See if they do. And there you go. And this is how they shush up the Freemasonry. Now I'm going to show you some writing, yeah, and then we're going to go on and I'm going to show you how well entrenched, right, the Freemasons are within this group of Scoutmasters. Here we go. Now, by the way, LDS is the Latter Day Saints Church, yeah, because they were involved in this very heavy. Again, it's all money, yeah. So there it is, the Latter Day Saints, right, and that's the Boy Scouts of America, yeah, right. They were all involved. But look at the money. Look at the money. That's you know. And I'm not going to go. You can go research it yourself. Let me move that. Oh no, I can move that across now, can't I? Yeah, that's it. And there. And you can just pause these bits just to read them for yourselves. And look at this. The first 5 Latter-day Prophets were Freemasons. And this is the thing with any new religion or any sort of religion, it's all to do with Freemasonry. They control it because they know it controls the population. Do you know what I mean? So there you go. Look, for, you know, this is not my words. This is all research already done by other people. You know what I mean? Or you know, the Latter Day Saints that comes from there itself. You know. And here we go. Look, what most brethren miss, even Freemasons in Lebanon, is that Freemasonry of the Boy Scouts movement. When Lord Baden, remember, Lords, Dukes, and Earls and Sirs. And again, it's showing you the difference or the similarity between it. But we know Freemasons made the Boy Scouts anyway. But you can read this at your own leisure or browse through it, pause it, and then browse through it. So I'll just go through this. I'm not going to read it all to you. You know, they're friendly, courteous, is kind. Do you know what I mean? But this is what it all, you know, like the Masons, what they do. You know what I mean? Basically, the similarities to Freemasonry. Because it's all about grooming the children, isn't it? That one always makes me laugh. A Mason is pure in thoughts as he thinks about bum stretching the kids, and his words and deeds are whispered in each other's ears, which is talking about how can we gang stalk or drug deal within the community and not get caught. So there you go. Right. Oh no, got a little bit more, sorry. See, the Lord. So is the Lords, Dukes and Earls, you know what I mean? And here's Freemasonry and Scouting here. Again, you can pause it and read it at your own leisure. Look, and the rank of Major General. You see the ranks they put on themselves. Do you know what I mean? All these people. Again, look, Sir Robert Baden-Powell, yeah, from 1857 to 1941, returning from the Boer War. See what I mean? Because it was a Masonic war. All wars are Masonic. Get that? You know, we need to learn that, because it's the few, yeah, that gets us, the profane, that we die by the millions or the thousands for a bunch of like 100 men. Do you know what I mean? That are just in a Masonic lodge on an agenda to lead us. And all it is these people, you know, the sirs, the lords, the dukes and the earls, they're the ones that use us to slaughter each other. Do you know what I mean? While they grab the gold, the guns and everything else they need. Do you know what I mean? So don't ever go to war for these people. No fucking way. So I'll just leave that. You can pause it at your leisure and like read it. You can look it up yourselves anyway. So you look, they go from 6 to 7, then from the Cubs 8 to 10-year-olds, and then the Scouts from 11 to 14, and then the Venturas from the years 18 to 26, and they're grooming all them kids all the time, yeah, grooming them how to think, how to feel, and they're looking for potential recruits, yeah, like the ones with a weak mind, to join Freemasonry. You know, they can follow orders. They're like drones. They can join our, you know, our little wasp nest or whatever it is, beehive, you know, and that's what they're looking for all the time. Freemasons are always continually looking for weak-minded people to join the craft, so they can keep that ring of protection around themselves. And it's the corrupt core in the middle, yeah, that the drug dealers, the killers and all the rest of it that are in the centre, and all they do is kill any threat that is, you know, going against them. Do you know what I mean? Whether that's defamation of by name or anything else, you know what I mean? So you look, bonds to other scouters within the craft. You see, it's all about bonding, yeah, and empathy. Do you know what I mean? And it's empathy. You have empathy with Freemasonry, because if you're empathy with us and you're in our gang, yeah, then you're going to be loyal to us. You're not going to be loyal to the profane, not even loyal to your brother or sister by blood. You're going to be more loyal to us, because we're the ones grooming you with money and, you know, power of having a business or anything else. Do you see what I mean? And that's what it's all about. Whether I'm doing this the right way, I never thought of that. Sometimes when I put these in, yeah, these bits of paper or whatever they are, these screenshots or whatever, sometimes they don't go in the right order. I'm sorry, so it might be going backwards. I don't know. You might have to sort them out yourself. But the point of the matter is just by reading it, the information is there. Do you know what I mean? And about the first lodges, you know, you just got to read between the lines of actually what it says. Do you know what I mean? You know. And there he is, look, halfway down. Look, His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent, Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of England, the president of the Boy Scout movement in 1975. Do you know what I mean? Then you got the Archbishop, Lord Fisher. Do you see what I mean? Rudyard Kipling. You know what I mean? Edward, brother Prince Edward of Wales, the Chief Scout, the Duke of Kent, the Commodore of the Sea Scouts. Do you see what I mean? The Reverend Israeli Brody, Chief Rabbi, who was a member of the Boy Scouts Council, and Lord Somers, Governor of Victoria. Do you see what I'm saying? It's all Lords, Dukes and Earls, and it's the people that are in charge, which are Lords, Dukes and Earls, because they control everything within towns and cities, that get these. They like, for instance, in London, the Uggle, yeah, will say, right, we're now going to start let's say we're now going to start a group called Pi. And then what they do, they get their little Mason minions to then go to their towns and cities, each town and city, and then they just start the group off. Come on, they get like 20 people out of the lodge, and they go, right, we're now a group called Pi. Do you know what I mean? And then that's the way it spreads. Do you know what I mean? And then before you know it, they're everywhere. Do you know what I mean? And that's how these Freemasons get different groups evolved and widespread, because they're the ones with the agenda to do that. Do you know what I mean? That's why, you know, you don't think, like, let's, for instance, I'm trying to get a group together that's called Profane, yeah? Where is it? Where is the group? Nowhere. I've been gone 30 years at this, right? Where's the group? Nowhere. Do you see what I mean? But they do it like that because they've got the numbers and they've got the army and they've got the skills on it. Do you know what I mean? Because when they give an order, you will do this. You'll start up the SMP and all the rest of them groups that have come about all of a sudden. Yeah, they're widespread, not because of whatever. They're widespread because Freemasonry are on an agenda to make them fucking groups. Do you know what I mean? Whether they're pretending to be anti-Freemason or anti-this and anti-that, they're the ones making the groups up because they know the more groups they make, the more divide and conquer they've got, which is us fighting between ourselves as per usual. You know? So that's what it's all about, you know, and you just got to be wised up to it, you know, the people that are leading you, yeah, the people that make these groups up, you know, like BLM, for instance, yeah. How did that group so fast grow so fast and so vast across the world, and everyone knew about it because it was on a Freemason agenda to make the BLM a vast and fast group development. You know what I mean? That was not on an agenda by Freemasonry. You know what I mean? That's the BLM group. You know what I mean? I'll prove they're Freemasons anyway. You know what I mean? What was his name? I can't remember now. The Reverend, Mr. Reverend, whoever, he's speaking at a rally with his suit on. But if you look at his records and go back a few years, you'll see him being, you know, made up to you know, a master mason in the lodge. Do you know what I mean? So all you got standing in front of you is a master mason, but he isn't wearing his apron. He's wearing a suit, and he's an old man. Do you know what I mean? But he's well in and groomed. He's been groomed from a very early age to be standing there as an old man representing BLM. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got all the profane, you know, people out the front, have no clue he's a Freemason, but they'll follow him because he's an old man in a business suit and he's supposed to be respectable, but he isn't. He's on an agenda from the lodge. Like I said, they're all got scripts, do you know what I mean? And scripts are never ending. Now here we are, look, here's a Scoutmaster, look. You can see his little Masonic little, there it is, look. There's his first bum stretching badge there of honour. Well, whether he is, you know, I can't say if he is or not, but I'm just saying what I'm trying to prove here, yeah, is that the Freemasons are well endowed within the Scout group, yeah, and there's no mention of them. Do you know what I mean? In anything, right? Here we go again, another couple of Freemasons. Look, Windsor Castle, we all know about that, baby. Again, it's the Lords, Dukes and Earls, and it always leads back to the people of the higher ranks, yeah, that make these groups up anyway, yeah. But here it is at Windsor Castle. And here we go, look. Another scout, why I joined the Surrey Murray Masonic Lodge, but he's an old geezer, you see what I mean? It's the old, always grooming the young, and I'm going to show that in a bit, yeah? So don't worry, look, here we are, look, old Scoutmaster on the left, you know what I mean? And the Worshipful Master on the right, depending on how you're looking at this video. But you can see their Masonic aprons in the lodge and their Scoutmasters, yeah? Okay. Again, we've got the old Scoutmaster or the Worshipful Master standing next to the youth. He's a rainbow, he's the Arrow geezer there, yeah? They got their own lodge, yeah? The Arrow Lodge or something, I can't remember now. But it's in my video, what I show you at the beginning of this video, yeah? I go through all these different youth groups, yeah? And they have hazing rituals as well, blah, blah, blah. Same as Freemasonry, all grooming, you know? But this is what you got. You got these old men, yeah? These Freemasons, these Worshipful Masters, yeah? Which is, you know, obviously MM, Master Mason or Master Molesters that are grooming these young children. Do you know what I mean? Always grooming the kids. Here we are again. Look, Scoutmaster, you know what I mean? Standing with the Freemasons again. Yeah, and as you can see on the little ones, look, if you look at the little pictures below, because I've only screenshotted these, I've not gone right into it, which I should have done really. But as you can see, again, look, there's all little, you know, the kids standing with Freemasons and they're all Scouts, look, yeah. Obviously, notice the aprons are different ranks, yeah, as well. But this is what they do. See, they're grooming the children. Look, this is what you've got in the lodge. Go to your lodge, watch the men that walk in. They're all businessmen, but they're grooming them children. Do you know what I mean? To get their bums stretched in the lodge. Do you know what I mean? Believe that, baby. Oh, I've done that one, didn't I? Yeah, sorry. And here we go. Look, another old man with a, with the young kids of today, because they have to groom the kids, because if the kids don't respect the old men within the lodge, they're fucking nobody, are they? Do you see what I mean? So they have to groom the children within the community to keep that power within your community. Do you know what I mean? And they're looking for potential people to be a ring of protection for these people all the time within your communities. Do you know what I mean? And they're doing that with money, drugs, and businesses. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and they're putting people in different positions of power. Yeah, for this. You know what I mean? If you're profane, you're getting nothing. You're not getting no fucking house. You're being homeless. You're just working factory work, soul destroying factory work. That's all you're getting and all you're fit for. Do you know what I mean? While these people, like a Masonic Eagle Scout, you know what I mean, he's going to have a future because he's going to be a ring of protection for Freemasonry. You know? But this is what they're grooming all the time. Oh. See, look? He's loyal. And what is he loyal to, look? Yeah? Look, loyal to Freemasonry, the Boy Scouts. Do you see what I mean? He's loyal. See? Masonic Scouter. You know what I mean? But again, he's got a troop of kids under him, and he's going to be perverting them. You know what I mean? Again, look, old men. Yeah, this young youth here is going to be these old dudes here. Do you see what I mean? Because he's being groomed already to join the. You know, he's going to be the, and that goes on and on and on, generation after generation. Yeah. You know what I mean? Of grooming, yeah. Freemasons on a new Eagle Scout. You see what I mean? They're in it thick, but that program never mentioned them once. And they, like I said in my video, I show, yeah. This is a similar thing. These are all different pictures, I think, anyway. But again, you can see that the Freemasons are well endowed. Look at how many Boy Scouts, and they're all Freemasons with their aprons on. Look, they love to brag. These Freemasons. Look, see, look. All their aprons, look, and they're all Boy Scouts. Well, you call them Boy Scouts. They're not Boy Scouts, are they? These are men. Yeah? Look, and they're grooming the kids. And we know what sort of paedophile rings they you know, they're very clever. Do you know what I mean? These people of, you know, secreting themselves and shushing up their crimes. Do you know what I mean? Whether they take a court-martial, you know, whether they're court-martialing the kids, you know, into being silent, you know what I mean, which I show you. Again, look, Freemasons, look at the children. Do you see what I mean? Old men grooming children. Do you see what I mean? And they're very good at it. Again, look, old men, you know what I mean, grooming the kids. You see what I mean? They're groomers, mate. And they keep grooming each and every generation to be someone who will just be shh, keep quiet. And also, look, grooming people. Again, look, I was vaccinated today. You got a badge. What a mug. But there you go. I don't care. He's a Freakmason anyway. You know what I mean? There's your fleur de piss. And look, vaccinated with pride. What an idiot. And again, this is where the Freemasons, again, are in your community. Yeah? Because if they weren't in your community, you'd know nothing. If you didn't have your TV, you would know nothing. Do you know what I mean? The only people who put anything out, like when you go to war, what I've mentioned before, or anything, yeah, that's happening or gone viral within your community, it's the Freemasons doing that. And they do it from the pubs and the clubs and all the community centres and everywhere like that. And they're directed from the lodge to do that. Get into your communities. We need more people doing this and saying that. And do you know what I mean? That's what they do. Same as the schools. You know, we need more people at the schools doing this, doing that. And you go at anything. I don't care what it is. You go to a fete, a gala. You'll see the organisers are Freemasons. Most of the you know, the stands, you know, whatever they may be, will all be organised and run by Freemasons, you know, like the coffee stalls or the fucking hot dog stands and all that. They're all Masonically brothers that have got them stands because they earn money from it. You know what I mean? And they're getting the money from you, the Profane, and they put their prices on up sky high, so you spend your money and you're always piss poor. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it's about. National Association of Masonic Scouters. Look, see, they're well in with the Freemasons, but Freemasons are never mentioned. Do not mention the Freemasons. Look, Tucker Lodge. Again, look, another lodge. What do you see? Boy Scout. You know what I mean? Grooming all the time. Another man in the Masonic Lodge. You can see behind him. You know what I mean? He's a Masonic scouter. See, all the scouts, here he is again, look. Boy, man, Freemason. Do you see what I mean? Same as below, look, even the ones underneath, look, it's all, you see what I mean? And it's all about grooming, you know, look, here he is, look, dib, 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 dob, 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 prepared to get your suit on, and then your bum stretcher and a suit, you know what I mean? But I just don't come as a Freemason, do you see what I mean? This is how Freemasons use themselves through society, you see? See, he's wearing a suit here, but he also not only wears a suit, yeah, what he actually wears is the scouter. Yeah, so he's got a uniform of a scouter, whether that could be a Marine or a Navy captain or anything else. And he also wears a layer, which is the Masonic regalia, which is the one he's true to. So basically, he's a Freemason in an apron, right, first. And then he goes out in society either wearing a scouter troop or a suit or anything else, do you know what I mean? But he's got that layers of protection where Freemasonry is never mentioned or never said, because it's always hidden in plain right. Do you know what I mean? I've got some right good pictures coming soon. I love it. Just to put a point across. Anyway, you know me, I don't like to brag about Freemasonry. So here we go again, look. Here's a Masonic, again, this is about being a wife of a Freemason, look, you see? And there's the apron, look, and with the scout badges and all that. It's all about collecting badges, yeah? Because this is what it's about, you know? People think, you get, how can I explain it? Like at school, yeah? Like in the school, they go, oh, you're going to get your A-levels, and it's all about marking, you know? And you feel special. Oh, I got an A+. Oh, look at this certificate. I just swam 100 yards. Do you know what I mean? And I've got a certificate and a badge. Do you know what I mean? It's all about grooming, yeah, with little presents all the time, you know. You've done that. Well done. Here's a little badge for you. Boom, boom. You know what I mean? It's all about grooming. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's good. That's a good thing, yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not saying people shouldn't be praised up for doing well and all the rest of it. But when there's a hidden agenda behind it, yeah, that they're looking for, you know, people that are a bit stupid and simple to join them, and will be stupid enough to go, well, it don't go on in my lodge. Oh no, and you know, all them sort of bollocks, which again I'll show you in a bit, yeah, of how these Freemasons are so mind warped into not believing anything and are living in self-denial. It's just mad, isn't it? Look, I just bought him this. It's almost full. You know what I mean? See, and it's all about filling it up, you know, whatever that is, their sashes, their little badges of honour. You know, again, look, Masonic Scouter, this is a picture of my son, Will, and I, see? So again, it's will down, yeah? That will is a bloody right word, because they will it down to each other over and over again. And like I said, it's their sons, their daughters that are born into it, with generation after generation of lords, dukes and earls. Do your research on your town and see where people come from, and you'll see they've got long, well-established businesses, yeah? And I'm talking hundreds of businesses, not just like 2 or 3, yeah? And they've got ownership on most of the land and the property, yeah? And they're controlling that, you know what I mean? And this is why the government won't go after them, because who's going to, you know, once that shell breaks, and everyone go, fucking hell, boom, boom, you know, and then, you know exactly what is actually going on within a town and city, who controls it. It's just that they're not wearing their aprons. The whole fucking game is up, isn't it? And they know that, do you know what I mean? But how can you do that? You know, it's like if someone, I'm trying to think of another good example. I've got brilliant examples in my head, but to refer the examples to what I know within my town, like sort of finger, and I don't want to do that yet. I don't want to pinpoint people just at this precise moment. But there's certain businesses that you could, you know, go, boom, you're this and you are fucking corrupt. Shut it down, and the infrastructure's gone in that town. Do you know what I mean? Because you shut up. But then they got to go, well, how the fuck can we, you know, and they're not going to do it because that's their own brothers. Do you know what I mean? They can't do that. You know what I mean? But that's another story anyway, my profane friends. As we can see, like I said, it's willed down one generation to the next. Here's another Freemason that well respected, you know what I mean? But he's not wearing his apron. Do you see what I mean? He's Mr. Smith. And this is how they wear, you know, the suits. Do you know what I mean? Wherever you see, when a bailiff come at your door, that's not a bailiff, that's a Freemason, but he's just not wearing his fucking apron. Do you know what I mean? A policeman turn up. You know, this could be the, you know, this 4 people here, yeah? They're grooming the child, obviously. But these 4 here, he could be the town mayor, right? What's he got on his ear? Oh no, it's all right. It's them numbers. I thought it was something. So, so these three men, right? One could be the Lord Mayor. One could be a police of chief. Do you see what I'm saying? You know, you don't know what they are, but when they come to you, they come as what they represent in clothes, but they don't wear their aprons. Do you know what I mean? Again, look, here we are, Masonic Scouters, and they're in the lodge again. You know what I mean? Mad, look. More Scouters, look. There's the Fleur de Pisse, look. You know what I mean? There's the Arcacia down the collars, look. And they're just old men that keep grooming all the time. E Company, look. Where's your brother and E Company, Tony Harvey, the Prestonian lecture. You know what I mean? Look. And they're just grooming the kids, the next generation of kids. And that's all they keep doing. Scouting in Freemasonry, look. 2 parallel organisations. So if that's 2 parallel organisations, yeah, and you've got all these Freemasons that are grooming and abusing kids, you know, and like they're master molesters, yeah. So what does that tell you? Do you know what I mean? That scouting is full of abuse, so is Freemasonry. And then you can see, you know, why. Because there's old men grooming young children, and men that want to bum little kids go after children. You know, they don't go, like I said, they ain't gonna go anywhere where there's adults. They're gonna go where the children are. So how can I get in with these scout groups? And again, if you watch the video, you know, that where they did on Netflix, you know, they explicitly say that, you know, they ain't gonna go anywhere else. They're gonna go to where youths and young boys or young girls, yeah, are prevalent, you know. So they're going to work in a school, for instance, do you know what I mean, to get to the school children, you know what I mean. That's where paedophiles love being. They're going to work in a creche, do you know what I mean. All of these. And if you want to displace kids, the quickest way is own, you know, if you own the town hall and you own the social services and CAFCAS and all that, you can find out who's the displaced kid, and then every displaced kid you give to a certain children's home that can then disappear, you can get a certain amount of money for that, like £500,000. What what are they going to do? They're going to do that. They're going to keep selling the kids off. Every displaced child they get, they can do it because they value money. You know what I mean? Money is everything to these people. Big money, and they get it in. Here we go. Look, another scout boy. Look, a boy scout. Look, a candidate. Yeah, again, right. A candidate, which is again the end of the candidate, enter the apprenticeship. It's all the same, see? And there he is, look, with his hand on the old square and calm piss. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, he's now going to be ill. You know, like now, I mean, this was like years ago this was taken, I think. So now he's more than likely an MM. You know what I mean? Master molester within the lodge. Look, Scouters Lodge 236. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. See, they brag about it. You know what I mean? They're all scoutmasters, all. You know, oh, it's a nightmare, isn't it? You know what I mean? Look at him. Look, see, Masonic Scout. Look, see, Master Mason, Master Molester. You know what I mean? Oh, baby. Same as this geezer here, look. See, surrounded by molesters, master molesters. Look, they've got the apron on there. But you try and find them mentioned anywhere in that programme. They're not. I was so disappointed. It was unreal, I'll tell you. Oh, baby, I could have crushed a grape. You know what I mean? But there you go. What can you do? Here we go. Look, Wood Smoke Lodge. You know, again, can you see it? Look, square and calm piss on the left. On the right, the Fleur de Pisse of the Scouts. In the middle is the Masonic Lodge. Oh, no, sorry. That's just a fire. I thought that was a Masonic Lodge going up. But, you know, look, he who have smelt wood, smoke by twilight. You know what I mean? That's more likely who smelt ass and smoked a kid's cigar. Let's put it that way. But that's what I mean, you know. But I know I'm like, you know, I'm trying to, you know, make a bit of light, but it ain't. This is serious stuff. Do you know what I mean? You know, this is like, you know, you think about it. Look, the Baden-Powell Lodge. Do you know what I mean? Fleur de Pisse, square and compass in the background. And obviously the arrow is the Arrow Lodge. Do you know what I mean? This is back in 2005. But we're talking decades and centuries. Do you know what I mean? We're not talking like 2 minutes. Do you know what I mean? They've been around. This is big, big business, you know. Look, square and compass, fleur de piss. You know what I mean? And here it is again, look, Provisional Grand Lodge of the Far East, right? So the Far East is in, obviously, you know, look. But look at all the different emblems, yeah? Again, it's the heraldry, yeah? Because that's what Freemasonry is. It's all about the heraldry, yeah? And here you got all the different heraldries and the different lodge, you know, the different scout groups, look. See? The heraldry of it all. That's Hong Kong, look. See the Hong Kong one at the top there, look? That's Hong Kong. See, they're everywhere. They're in everything. Do you know what I mean? Shanghai, look. You see? Do you see what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. They're not just like, you know, your local neighbourhood. We're talking international, global, you know, elite people continually grooming children for the next generation to come in and be protection for these lords, dukes and earls. Do you know what I mean? And here it is again, look, Freemasons of East and West Kent. You see what I mean? And this is the heraldry, you know, Sir Ernest Shackleton's. Do you see what I mean? See, it's always sirs, Sir, Lord, Dukes and Earls. And we just don't hear about them anymore. Do you know what I mean? And here we go again. Look, here he is, the dude. Let's and Freemason. Let's see if I can enlarge that for my profane friends. So if you can have a read. There you go. Look, Scouting and Freemasonry, two parallel organisations, and it is, you know, and but they're, you know, like I said, they want the young youth, yeah, coming up, you know what I mean, on the same level as them to be leaders for the next generation. And if you know this dude, he's really cool in the gang, weren't he? He went to war, he's got loads of medals, yeah. But again, I think that's to do another Freemason, of course, gone to war, yeah, and a leader. But he never got shot, he never got killed, you know. And again, it wasn't because he was a good sight. It's more than likely because he was given the Grand Halen sign of "Don't shoot me." You know what I mean? I'm a Freemason, you know. And there he is, look, Audie Murphy. He done lots of again Hollywood. He did loads of films in Hollywood. Do you know what I mean? And he, like, I think he attacked 3 or 4 bunkers, didn't he, to get all these medals? But again, if you look at him, that's what a Freemason is. You know what I mean? The way I see it, if you're scared of something, you better get busy and do something about it. Well, I'm scared and I'm doing something about it. I like to think I am anyway. I call that a challenge. Well, my challenge is astronomically massive because I'm up against the biggest army in and across the world, you know what I mean? And it's called Freemasonry, and they're gang stalkers. And I believe that the way to grow is to meet all the challenges as they come along. Brother Audie Murphy, do you see what I mean? Again, you could go Brother Audie Murphy, but there's not just him, is there? We had, who else was it? I can't remember now. Ronald Reagan, you know what I mean? We've had Clint Eastwood. They've all gone into politics and everything, only because they're Freemasons, do you know what I mean? Or they wouldn't get anywhere along with it, you know what I mean? Look, Audie Murphy and Freemasonry. So now I want you to just pay attention here. I must show you. I've got to show you this, baby. You see the tie there, look? See it, look? 2 steps, 3 steps, and maybe 5 steps, subtotal 9, look. 1 above, 1 below, yeah? Just the 9 steps. I just thought I'd tell you that because I'm that great, you know what I mean? Again, look, Freemasonry, share the experience with the children. Look, we will groom these to be the next generation of Freemasons that will keep the profane underfoot. You know, you've got to separate these Freemasons from the youth. Do you know what I mean? Because they're grooming all the time. Again, look. Oh yeah, that's it. The Arrowhead Lodge, not the yeah. I was calling it the Arrow Lodge, was it? Yeah, the Arrowhead Lodge. Yeah, which is their Freemasons. But look at all the you know the youngsters in here. You know, including these down here. Look, you got the young girl. Let's not forget the women. Yeah, you know what I mean. The women. You know, they do the girl guides and all the rest of it. The brownies and all that. Yeah. But they're still grooming. Don't forget the women are Freemasons. Look, see her, look, see, they're all, you know, the women as well. It's not just the men. Remember, the women are just as prevalent as the men, and as just as corrupt as well, because they're going to back the men up. They're the auxiliary fucking women. You know what I mean? But you can see, look, these are all scouters, look, and they're in the Masonic lodge again. See the dude on the wall, look. See, you try finding paintings of profane people that have been honoured throughout history. Any profane person, you won't. You can find people like Churchill, Stalin and all that because they're all Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? There's statues everywhere of Freemasons and, you know, cornerstones that are dedicated to Freemasonry. But you see any statue or cornerstone that says this profane person here or that profane person. No, they're all Freemasons. You know what I mean? Men or women, you know. Beatrix Potter, Freemason. Do you know what I mean? What are the latest ones? Who's that who did Harry Potter? You know, Eastern Star. Do you see what I mean? These are all Freemasons and they know it. Oh, I've gone a couple of double. Here we go again. Look, in the Masonic Lodge, these are the people they honour. You go, like, you see that list of men and women in the back of that lodge there. Go into your town hall and you'll see the same type of listing and honouring Lord Mayors and bailiffs. Do you know what I mean? And other people that have served the community, but they're all bailiffs. Do you know what I mean? Again, here we go. Look, Masonic Lodge. Here we go. Masonic Scouters, old, and then you got the young youth, and they're moulding their minds to hate the profane. That's all they're doing. You know what I mean? Here we go again. Look. Old men, look. See them, look. That's the worship master. There's the front of the lodge. Look where they sit, look. And they're all weighing them up, thinking, we're now going to master molest them. You know what I mean? And these poor little kids ain't got a fucking clue. You know what I mean? Again, look. Children, old men, grooming kids, women. You know, like I said, don't forget the women. They're just as prevalent as the men. Oh, just that picture again. But don't forget, look, you're also, while I'm showing you these pictures, you're actually seeing, yeah, the army. Yeah, these are army units, look, yeah, of Freemasons, look, yeah. That's an army unit. You know what I mean? And here we are again, look. Kids and Masons grooming, being groomed of how to think of the profane in the life. Do you know what I mean? That's all about. Shh, they're profane. Don't speak to them. Do you know what I mean? We're the hated profane, and that's what it's about. Look, again, look, old men, children, girls and boys, and women and old men. Look, grooming the children all the time. Again, look, you got the old men grooming the children. You see what I mean? It goes on and on and on all the time. It's in Cambridge, Freemasons, these are. Look, you got Glastonbury Lodge there, look. Bloody hell. They'll be well drug dealing before they're fucking 10. You know what I mean? They'll be drug dealers before they're 12, I reckon. But here we go again, look. Old men and kids. Grooming the youth of tomorrow to hate the profane of today. Look. More kids. Provisional Grand Lodge of, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? My profane friends. Here we go, look. The scout group. Again, look. Either the scouts are men or is she a woman? No, it's a joke. But there you go, look. There you go. Freemasons, again. Old groomers of kids. Do you know what I mean? They groom everybody. And that's what they are. They groom your communities, literally, yeah. And they're grooming them to look at Freemasons. As if in the UK you don't even know nothing. No one knows nothing about Freemasons. You know what I mean? But if you know where to look and where to go, and you plot your cameras right, then you know. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And you can see the youngsters around the old drug dealers and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? Getting groomed constantly on how to think, how to deal, and how to get fucking away with it. Do you know what I mean? So here's another one, look, you see, look, old scouters, old Freemasons, do you know what I mean? Grooming children all the time. And again, look, Staffordshire Freemasons donate 1,500 to 60 Leak Squadron Air Cadets. And like I said, so it's not just about this, like I said at the start of this video, it's not just about the Scouters of America. Do you know what I mean? They're doing it to the Army Cadets, the Sea Cadets, the Air Cadets, you know, any young people, these old men, yeah, are going after the young ones. Do you know what I mean? And they're like, you know, it's like, you know, like a wolf looking at a chicken dinner. You know what I mean? You know, and that's what they look at. You know, they think, oh, look, I'm going to bum stretch your, you know, on the first, you know, on our first camp away, you know, where we go away to do some camping, you're going to your bum's going to be stretched in that tent quicker than lightning. You know what I mean? And don't put it past them, and I'm telling you now, to drug the people in the campsite. Do you know what I mean? You know, so they have a good sleep. They go, yeah, I'll try some of this. You know, it's my own special concoction. And then it's laced with, like, you know, a drug that puts them to sleep, and then they can bum away, can't they, all night? And half of them that wake up wouldn't even know about it anyway, because they're date raping the people or your children. And again, you're trusting, you know, you're giving it to these scoutmasters, because that's all about, again, the reputation, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? The reputation, you're giving it to these scoutmasters or army cadets or sea cadets or cubs or whatever. You're giving your child over to these people that are supposed to be trusted. Do you know what I mean? But they're there. They're not there because they like doing what they're doing. They're liking children. They like the children. Do you know what I mean? And then when they get them away on a camping, you know, we're in charge. Do you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. You know, that leader is like spiking their drink, you know what I mean, their last drink or whatever, and they're all falling asleep into a deep, heavy sleep. So anything that goes on, no one knows fuck all about anyway. You know what I mean? So don't think that don't go on neither, because it fucking does. They like using drugs to drug people. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't give them a memory then, does it? You know what I mean? It only takes a couple of drops in a drink on that date rape stuff, and that's it. Failing that, they'll come along with a needle, you know, and inject you, you know, and then bum stretch you. You know, that's what Freemasons do, you know. They're master molesters, you know what I mean? They're great at what they do, you know what I mean? They're the best you know, the best molesters in the world. You know, they're prevalent for it. And I ain't just saying that. Do the research, it's there. Here we go again, look, getting their badges, look. And that's what it's all about. Keep grooming with badges, giving them presents, giving them awards, do you know what I mean? Look at all the badges in the back, look. See, it's just the army, you know, it's an army. You know, all them badges and medals, look, see, look, what did he do? I mean, is that for gang stalking? Is that one for drug dealing? Do you know what I mean? Is that one for keeping shush because my mate, you know, did this, a murder? Do you see what I mean? I kept shush, so I got these medals. Do you know what I mean? What are they for? You know, I don't know. Again, look, here's all the medals, look. Yeah, well done, my son. There's a medal, look. There's your medals. You know, and they're standing proud as punch. And he's going, yeah, man. You know what I mean? I stretch their bums at camp. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to keep mentioning that. Doing nothing, don't I? But you get the idea. Again, it's all about old men, young men being groomed into Freemasonry to hate the profane, basically. Again, old men grooming children. And we've got to be careful who we're allowing to groom our children. Do you know what I mean? Look, I don't know if I took a picture of him, but I'll put him up anyway. Look, here he is. Look, look, here he is with his gauntlets. Look, you know what I mean? He's got his gloves on already, so he don't leave a fingerprint on the child. You know what I mean? That's why they wear them white gloves. Look, and there's your kids. You know what I mean? You trust it to these people. Do you know what I mean? But they're you know, there's their war. Look behind them. Look, all that army unit there, that gang. Yeah. Yeah, that'll keep their secrets to themselves. See, behind them, look, is the heraldry, and that's where they call to banners. Look, there's 3 generations of people on banners there, yeah, of families that control Somerset community, you know what I mean? There's 3 families there, look, and that's what it's about. It's the family, you know, the heraldry of it all. Oh, and here he is, so I've got him up. Again, look, in the background of these 2 old farts, look. See it, look? See, that is the heraldry, look, of different families that control that area of where they're living, which is, it doesn't say, but wherever it is, and that's the families that control your towns and your cities and the heraldries everywhere. You know what I mean? But again, like I said, it's the old and the young. Are you going to keep allowing these old people, yeah, to keep grooming your children to hate in the profane? Look, here he is, look. That's what a Freemason is, you see. He's a Freemason there, look. Third piss on the left, square and calm piss on the right, yeah? He's a Freemason wearing his apron, but here he is now, still as a Freemason, but he wears a Scouter's uniform. You know what I mean? And then out of them 2 uniforms, yeah, he's more than likely wearing a police uniform or a bailiff uniform, you know, come round in a suit, you know, aggressive and all that shit, and try and take your chickens and, you know, all that, you know, because you owe fucking money to a Freemason corrupt organisation, you know. And this is what they do. They hide behind it, you know, they hide. You know, that's, if I just show you this picture here and went, look at this geezer, yeah, you'll say, oh, what a lovely scoutmaster he is. You know, he's wonderful, isn't he? Beautiful. Oh, how great. But then, like I said, there's the other side of the coin, the hidden apron of where he's in Freemasons. So when you see like someone like this, say at the front of a BLM group, yeah, they go, oh, he's a scouter and all this, and they give it all that. They don't mention Freemasons. They'll say, oh, he's a scout leader. He works in the bank. Do you know what I mean? And he's done this and he's done that. But that's what they'll represent you to you, so you believe him because he's in that uniform where they put that trust in your mind. Do you know what I mean? Because you then don't, you don't think for yourself and think, well, is he a Freemason? Is he standing there as a Freemason working for the lodge and whatever he's spieling to you? Like when you see David Cameron or any of them MPs or what they call presidents in the United States, yeah, and they're spieling to you, they spiel as uniforms, as a suit, a business suit or whatever that may be, or a police chief, he stands at the lectern and he give you his spiel of what you want to hear, what he's been told to tell you, but really what he's standing there is a Freemason like that. And that's all you're getting all the time in the news. A newscaster that sits there reading the news on your telly is a Freemason or an Eastern Star. You know what I mean? They have to control it. And again, here we go. Look, old man and kids being groomed. And there's the heraldry in the top right corner. Look, the heraldry of the family. That's keeping control of that particular area, whatever that may be. Becoming a Freemason. Look, becoming a Freemason. Are you or someone you know interested? Because look, every year we raise money, more than 1 million, for hundreds of different charities. Yeah, but you're also doing that in the hope of grooming these children, not only to abuse, but to join you as a shush-up crew that can take over the power of the profane people. You know what I mean? Again, look, here we go. Essex Cornerstone Lodge, long-serving new Masons of Essex, the new-serving Masons, yeah? New Masons, yeah? They're not in decline, these Freemasons. They're grooming this generation of children, look. You see? Ready to do their bidding. See, look, girls and boys, remember that, girls and boys, you know what I mean? Here we go again. Look, becoming a free, are you interested? Look, and here he is. Look, the early years program, yeah, the early years program, think about that, the program your child, yeah, and it's a program is tailored the individual needs of each child, yeah. They're programming your child. There he is in the background. Look, he's the old vicar. I don't know what he's doing. Look, what's that? Look, there's a hand behind him. He's gone, help, I've just been bummed by the vicar. Look, he's like, I don't know, or is that his hand? I don't know what he's doing. It's a bit strange, isn't it? And then you've got an Eastern Star, look, on the right, look. See? But they come as people in suits, yeah? They just don't wear their aprons, out in the open. They pretend they're something else when they're not. They're just acting. You know what I mean? And here they are again, look, see? All smiles, all good. You know what I mean? So long as we uphold our reputation of master molesters, it's okay. Again, look, it's all charity work, look. Charity, just like Savile, just covers more corruption. You know what I mean? Any one of them, like I said, she could be a social services, he could be a police chief, she could be the Lord Mayor, or, a mayoress. Do you know what I mean? You just don't know what they are. What do they actually represent? You know what I mean? Who are they? But we know their honour and their loyalty only represents one thing, and that's the Masonic Lodge. Do you know what I mean? Never forget that. These people have only one thing, and that's Masonic Lodge. See, look, they're organising this people. Look. See, look. Kids, old men and children, grooming the kids for the next generation to keep the control of power over the profane. You know what I mean? Again, look, old men and children being groomed constantly, over and over again, every generation. And these people need to be ousted out of power. You know what I mean? Any positions of power, all Freemasons need to be coming out. Scout groups, Sea Cadets. I don't think you people realise what it actually entails. That's every police officer that is a Freemason within the police force needs to be removed. Yeah, everyone in Westminster or Parliament, because when they throw a vote up, it's only a Masonic vote. They ain't a Conservative or a Tory vote, and it's certainly ain't the blue side and the red side, which is the Blue Lodge and the Red Lodge. Do you know what I mean? It's always a Masonic vote. Do you see what I mean? And that's all it is. And once you wake up to that and you oust these people, the control of Freemasonry over the world ends. Do you know what I mean? But this is what they're doing every generation, and they do it. You know, here we go again, look. Look, the baying player. Look at this, look at these old men, look, yeah. And then you got the youth in the middle, look. See, this is what they got in coming up, look. They recruit these people, and they're moulding his mind to respect these old farts. And so long as he respects these old farts, these lords, dukes and earls, they can carry on their abuse, do you know what I mean, of the profane people. You know what I mean? And they hold that power because they're always grooming your children, yeah, to keep them in power. You know what I mean? In the lodge. They're looking for all the time. You know, there's another girl there. Look, remember the females? Yeah, look at the old farts. Look, old men grooming the young children. Look, and again the heraldry is in the background. Look, the families. Yeah, and it's the families that keep the grooming, so they're safe. You know what I mean? From you, the profane. See, look, all honours, medals, and plaques. Look, given to the kids. Look, see, there's all the Eastern Stars in the background. Look, the women. You know what I mean? All in his worshipful master in the lodge. Look at the carpet. Look, they have all these special carpets. You think it costs? That's where all their money go, on themselves. They don't put it into the community. Where's that gone? Here we go. Look, the Boy Scouts and Freemasonry connection. That they are bum stretchers of tomorrow and today. Here we go again. Look, meet the next generation of Masons. What does that say? What does that tell you there? You know what I mean? See, inspiring today's youth to become tomorrow's leaders. You see what I mean? Their youth, their children, their kids are the ones that are going to be leading your football team. They're the ones that are going to be leading your scouts. They're going to be leading your cubs. They're going to be leading your army cadets. They're going to be, do you see what I mean? They're going to be leading your kids within the schools. You know, they're going to be the ones leading your, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is, they're the all leaders, yeah? And they're your leaders constantly. They just don't stand out open with their Masonic aprons on going hey, because if they did, people would know that they're fucking corrupt as fuck, yeah? And that's the thing with it. You know, if we made a law, and we should really, if we could set one up, Freemasons had to wear their Freemason aprons out in, you know, out as a business where they, you know, you'll see policemen walking along the street with aprons on. You know what I mean? All the chief of police, you know what I mean? You see them all with aprons on. And then you go into your town hall, you'll see all your people that are supposed to represent you as a fair, you know, fair civil servants all wearing aprons. You'll see women walking along, you know, from social services all wearing aprons, you know what I mean, as they steal your kids off you because of some stupid excuse, because they got some Freemason that wants your child, you know what I mean, so they take them in for an adoption, and then it's passed to some Freemason family, you know, all of that. But here it is, look, there's the biggest thing. Look, meet the next generation of Freemasons, the children. You see what I mean? They're grooming them all the time, willing it down, that wealth, that power to their children. And you, the profane, will never get anywhere because they make sure you don't get anywhere. You're never going to have a business. You're never going to be successful because you're not fucking Masonic. You're a fucking nobody. You're the slave, yeah, that works for Freemasons. And so long as you're a slave, stacking shells, working in the factories, putting food on their table and money in their pocket, then that's okay. Do you know what I mean? Because it's their blood, their generation, and their elite people that have ruled this planet for decades and centuries. And you, the profane, have always been their slaves. You just don't know it. Because they don't wear their aprons up front. And if they've been doing, if you imagine for the last 50 years of what's happened, yeah, within all these towns and cities within the UK, that's all been done by Masonic design. Do you know what I mean? All the troubles, what's happening, there's no improvement. Nothing's got better. It's got worse. And you're still leaving these people in power. These Freemasons, you're allowing to do this. Do you know what I mean? Because they're not investigating any of their brothers. That's why there's always fucking drug dealing, because they stand toe to toe with them in the fucking lodge. Do you know what I mean? I know that. I can prove that, you know. There's other things as well I could show and prove, but I won't, not yet. But, you know, this is what I mean. Again, look, the old man grooming the child. You know, there's Jimmy Savile on the right, and there's, and he's now going to fix it for her. Do you know what I mean? Again, look, New Zealand Freemasons. Now, if you know about the Freemasons in New Zealand and how many lodges they're spread across there, and you know they got some design in Australia or New Zealand, I don't know what it is, but they're so fucking like whatever. But that's another story. But here we go again. Look, all to do with the kids, the grooming, and don't forget the women. It's always the kids, children, men, and women. You know. Never forget the kids, the women, the children. Yeah, look, here they are. Look, the girls. Look, old farts. Look, worshipful master in his little hat. Look, see. And look at all the kids. Look, they're grooming. Look, yeah. You know what I mean? These are the next leaders they're making to control your neighbourhood, to control your community. Again, look, worshipful master on the left, the little bum stretcher, and then you've got the master molesters on the right. And right in the middle, you've got the kids. You know what I mean? It's a bit like hungry hippos, isn't it? You know what I mean? They're like munching on the kids in the middle. You know what I mean? Hungry hippos, hungry masons. But here we go again. Look, see the youth, look, and the heraldry on the front as well. Look, you see the heraldry again. Look, you see. See the heraldry. It's always about the families. You know, it's about keeping that protection over the families. Again, look, we can see it. Master molester on the right, master bum stretchers on the right, kids in the middle. Do you know what I mean? Hungry hippos. Do you know what I mean? Remember that, hungry hippos. Maybe I could invent a game called. Never mind. But again, look, you got the youth, look, the really small child at the front, look, and then you got all the old men and worshipful master right in the centre, look, who's going to get first pick of the child. You know, and then again, look at all the old people on the wall. Look, see, there's their history. Look, in the photographs up behind that worshipful master. Look, you see, look, old man, and then you got the youth on the right. Look, sitting down. Look, you see. Now he's more than likely had his bum stretched yet. That's why that cushion's there next to his head. So when he's getting his bum stretched by these old men, he then got a cushion he can sit on, which will make him a bit more comfortable. Do you know what I mean? But there you go, up on that wall, look, you can see, look, there's 5 old generations of people that are honoured within within that community of Freemasons. You see what I mean? Now you go show me anywhere again where there's profane people honoured on any walls like this. You in, because they're the ones that are generational, that keep passing it down. They've got the memories and the history of everything in every town and city. You know what I mean? Because they're the Lords, Dukes and Earls, and it's all about bloods, you know, bloodlines and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? But there you go. He's got his cushion anyway, so I reckon his bum's going to be all right for sitting down in the next couple of weeks. Then again, look, here we go again. Look, it's family orientated. I presume that's his nanny on the left there. You know what I mean? And granddad on the right. And then his mum maybe there. But I don't know. But again, like I said, it shows you how it's passed down from generation to generation. You know, again, here we are, look, old and young again, yeah, the groomers, but it's the background which is the important thing, yeah. See the background, look at that, look, where they honour the past people, yeah, their generation of people, yeah, in Freemasonry, look. See, all them, see? Then you obviously here you got your young youth, look, yeah, he's being trained up by the women and the old men here, look, you see? Remember, the women are just as important as the men. They're just as corrupt as the men. They do as they're told as well. Remember that. You know, they're the ones that'll be loading the rifles and making the ammunition for the men. Do you know what I mean? To come round and shoot the profane. But as you can see, it's always the youth and old people grooming the children. Again, look, old worshipful master on the right, youth on the left, look, and he's well established because you can tell by his badges, yeah, and he's being groomed and he think he's a hero. Look at me, I'm so proud of all the badges I've earned, you know, and that's what Freemasonry do. Same thing, they've got the same, you know, badges. Look, here they are, look, see the big G on the wall at the background, look. Oh, that wouldn't go up. Why wouldn't that go up? Oh, here we go. Oh, I don't know how to do it. Wait a minute. Well, you can see the G in the background anyway. For some reason I won't squeeze in. So you've got the big G in the background there. Look, so they're once again in the Masonic Lodge. But again, you can see how they've groomed these kids with their badges. See all them badges they got thrown across their their shoulders. And that's the same thing. These are soldiers, actually, because they're grooming. This is what they do. They groom an army and they groom a gang to see who's going to represent them. But again, here we go again, look, all these are being groomed, look. See, is that a Masonic shake? Look, oh, baby. But here we go, look, more old men grooming the kids, ready for their gang, ready for their army. And you can just see just to the right there, look, you can see the Eastern Star star on the wall. Look. And again, you know, the pictures are old, look, black and white, where they're honouring the past generation of people that were Freemasons before controlling this, you know. And again, like I said, it's all turned down. This is South Carolina, you know, and it's passed down each and every time, you know, to each generation. Look, you got the old people here, but they're more than likely all family members, 4 generations of people there. Do you know what I mean? Look. And then on the back wall, if you look again, you've got them all honoured there, you see. They're the ones with the history. Us profane have got nothing. You know what I mean? Look, Masonic Lodge to hold open installation of officers. So that young youth man, he's now got to be installation as an officer within Freemasonry. But there, if I just show you that picture as a normal picture, yeah, of just that, with nothing, no reference to Freemasonry or anything else, you just think, oh, there's a young lad there, what a nice boy, he's now, do you know what I mean? And that's what they try and get across to you. You know, they wear these different suits and different uniforms that you'll respect, like a police uniform, like a nurse's uniform, like a doctor's uniforms, but behind all that, hidden behind all of them uniforms, is the Masonic apron. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing with it. They don't come wearing their aprons, let's put it that way. Look, all of these nice boys, great. 10 years from now, these are all going to be Freemasons. The next generation, like these old farts at the top here. You know what I mean? There's a worshipful master there on the left, but with the big G, look, you see. But this is the point of it. You see, they don't come wearing their aprons. You know, again, look, in a Masonic lodge, you can see him in the background there. I can't squeeze in on the left. Look, he's got his apron on. Look, you see, and they're controlling this youth, all these youths, yeah, boys and girls. Look, yeah, of who's going to be the next people to come in. You know, there's the G there. Look on the roof. There's the old men. Look, wearing his funny hat. But when he takes that apron off, takes that hat off, and takes the sash off, yeah, same as this dude here, what do they look like? They look like lawyers. They look like judges. They look like bailiffs. Do you see what I mean? But all the apron is hidden, you know, in life it's hidden, you know what I mean? And they come across as this, that and the other, like these people here. Look, see, none of them are wearing aprons. If you didn't have the square and compass in the background, yeah, then all you'd think was standing there was like representatives of what you see in your town halls. Do you know what I mean? And that's all it is. But again, it's showing that Freemasonry, and as you can see on the other banner, is the Scouts. You know what I mean? And the fleur de piss. But again, look, it's the women, it's men, and it's the old farts. Do you know what I mean? That are grooming the children. You know, here he is. Look, here he is. Here, look, the worshipful master. He's got his hand up her skirt, more than likely, like Jimmy Savile. And if she's an Eastern Star, she's more than likely servicing all them men, believing that she's something special because she's a rainbow girl or whatever. You know what I mean? We'll get more into that in a minute, but you're getting the idea now, aren't you? You know what I mean? Look, see all them men, look? Again, it's hungry hippos, look. See? You put the victim in the middle, and then they start going... You know what I mean? Like hungry hippos to see who can pervert her the quickest, you know what I mean? With their Masonic aprons. But that's what it's all about. Grooming the children, the next generation, you know, of youth. And here he is, look, you got the Lord Mayor there, innit? Is that? Many brothers, one brotherhood. See? Many brothers, one brotherhood. I'm guessing that says that, brotherhood, that's what it is. Because it is all one brotherhood, yeah? But here you are, look, Lord Mayor, look, wearing all his gear, look. See, he's the mayor, you see what I mean, of your town. But he's a Freemason, do you know what I mean? You just don't wear their aprons out in open. They hide it, you see? Because they know if they wore their aprons out in the open, yeah, right, everything they're doing at the moment, that would give them people a finger to point at, say, yeah, you're fucking rotten. But they don't. They give you all these different things that you have to point at. They get you pointing at one particular person. They go, oh, that's that chief of police. Oh, it's that judge. That's this. No, it's not. It's the whole organisation of Freemasonry. Do you know what I mean? Mad. And here we go again. Look, here we go. Look. See, look, that's his son. Or is that, oh, sorry, actually, that's, I think, I can't remember now what the story is behind it. I think that's him when he was a youth or a young person, and now he's grown up and he's become, again, that's that generational thing, and he's now a Freemason and all that sort of stuff. But that's him being groomed. Do you know what I mean? I can't remember what it is now, but yeah, he's an arrow in the Arrow Lodge anyway. Look, you can see his arrow there on his little thing. So he's in the Arrow Lodge, so he's a fully fledged Freemason now. I think it was that, yeah. Yeah, he's the Grand Secretary, look, yeah, see, and that's, so you imagine how many years he's been working for Freemasonry, and it's a career, you know, and they're paid well for that, you know. Again, look, hungry hippos, look, see all the hippos, yeah, the old men round there, and then you've got the youth in the middle, and they're going to leave, like, bum stretching them once the old doors are shut, you know what I mean? That'll be, you know what I mean? But there you go. That's what it's all about, you know. Again, look, worshipful master, left, right, and centre, and you got the boy in the middle. Again, look, old men grooming young children. Look, you see, look, old men grooming the young children. See, he'll be groomed to be the next generation. If he's blood, obviously, and he's been in that town, you know, controlling it, and he's a Lord, Duke and Earl, he'll be the next one to step into their shoes, or into their aprons, should I say. You know, and that's what it's all about. Look, here's another one, look, see? Young children, look, he's now laying a cornerstone, look, you can see the trowel in his hand, look, and he's physically, you know, he'll be honoured, yeah, he'll go, oh, I laid that, you know, like in the newspapers from, say, 20 years from now in the newspaper, go, oh, he was the first person to lay a cornerstone of this building, blah blah blah, you know what I mean? And he's honoured for that, you see what I mean? Because that's in their history, because they get their kids doing that sort of thing, that gives them that history of how it came about. Do you see what I mean? I'll show you that in a minute, you know, like on some of the buildings they've got, yeah, and you'll see exactly what I mean. And this is what I'm on about. Look, they're laying the cornerstone, look, see? Now, remember, in each cornerstone, they have a sacrifice, yeah? And remember, again, I've shown in my videos, blood makes better mortise. So how much blood is in this mortise? Do you know what I mean? That they're laying. They know, you know what I mean? And look, here he is, look. See? Laying the cornerstone, you know what I mean? And they've got sacrifices in them, you know, and if they're saying true to their, you know, their rituals, then each cornerstone has a body entombed inside. And that's from their own rituals. But here we go, look, we've got a young child here now being groomed into Freemasonry. You know what I mean? That'll be passed down to him. You know, here we go, look, flying a flag for the NHS, because the NHS, again, is Masonic and it's Freemasonry. That's why, like, if you looked at my video where there's a nurse standing with a rainbow, it was raise a rainbow. Do you know what I mean? And everyone got involved in that mass Masonic ritual across the world of raise the rainbow for rainbow girls, because the rainbow girls are your nurses and they control your hospitals. You see, and that's how Freemasons control your hospitals. You know what I mean? Because they're all Freemasons. The doctors and the nurses are all Masonic. Do you see what I mean? And that's how they can stalk you within in that community and give you the wrong treatment or the wrong pills and make your life shit if you go into a hospital. Do you see what I mean? You know, make more problems worse, especially if you're vomit, you know, a victim of Masonic ill treatment. But that's what that rainbow represents. Raise a rainbow for rainbow girls. You know, and that's all it is. What do I say here? What's this? We've got about 14 minutes left, and not one mention of Freakmasonry or Freakmasons. So I'm going to... Shut up, you. Right, this is me. This is the last video I did on the Scouts of Honour. When I watched it, I was so disappointed. There's like 15 minutes left, and there's like, I'm now 1 hour and 20 minutes into the Scouts of Honour, and there was not one mention of Freemasonry. Do you know what I mean? I was so disappointed. So let's listen to this. Well, sadly, we've had 1 hour and 20 minutes. We've got about 14 minutes left, and not one mention of Freakmasonry or Freakmasons. So I'm going to do another video. I'm going to show you how involved these people are within this fraternity of Scouts and what they get up to. But here we go. Look, to me. Now, again, if you notice when he's talking, behind him, he's got a point within a circle. As you can see, all the flags are in a circle, right? And obviously, it's the old dick worship, and I think that's Washington. Being silent, knowing what I know, is being complicit. So, if you're complicit in being silent about a pervert, gang stalker, or a pervert molester, or rapist, or a drug dealer that's dealing to kids or pregnant women, or any of the above of what I mention in my videos, then you are being complicit in that crime.
Being silent, knowing what I know, is being complicit. You talk to people who know me, they know I don't yield, I don't quit. And I was working up to the day I left to keep scouts safe, even though I knew that it was like 4 steps forward, 2 steps back. Part of my employment contract had a part in there that, to get my severance, that...
I noticed you keep walking past Masonic, honorees, do you know what I mean? So you look where you can see it on the side here. So they're hinting at it, I think. Do you know what I mean? Brothers in arms, look, do you know what I mean? Side by side and solemn obligation. Do you see what I mean? So they are hinting at it. And they talk about levelling out and things like this. Do you know what I mean? Whether this monument is we know it's a bloody monument to Freemasonry, but they do mention things like on the level and things like that. So whether they're hinting at it rather than being directly coming out with it is another thing. So, but I'm going to now do a little video and I'll mix this in, obviously. And my friends, you are the most powerful people in the world. Have a great day, sugar puffs, and don't keep shush. Yeah, by that time I was bloody tired as hell, do you know what I mean? Well, again, like I said in this. Well, sadly. So, yeah, by this time they hadn't mentioned Freemasonry, but they had hinted at a lot of stuff within that video where they're going leveling, talking about obligation. They're putting a lot of stuff in the background, like he's now walking around, one of them obelisks and that of Freemasonry and shit like that. There's a lot of hints at it, but they just didn't mention the Freemasons because they won't. They're shh. Keep it quiet. So, if they have been true, this Netflix, again, it's all about a diversion tactic, to vie away from Freemasonry. That is, and I've just shown you in my video, haven't I? I've just talked about it and shown you that every fucking Scoutmaster was a Freemason. And and again, if you talk to them about it, where they say it goes hand in hand and works side by side with Freemasonry, the Scouts do. The Freemasons now of today, because they know about this, they'll distance themselves from that, because that's what they do. They're very good at shushing up and distancing themselves from any sort of corruption. But the facts remains the same, is that these people on Netflix, that done this video, even the guy who was talking, again, they've put a black guy in a suit, and another guy who's in a suit who's white, so they keep it like, it's both whatever, trying to make that equal type thing. The point of the matter is that they're using people like that, what are more than likely speaking as Freemasons rather than as profane people. But we don't know, do we? Because are they Freemasons? I don't know. That's the question that needs to be asked, isn't it? The people speaking within the Scouts' honour, are they being truthful? And when they did the investigation, again, where was the question of how many Freemasons were, who were being prosecuted or whatever throughout this whole fucking Scout thing, including the Army cadets and everything else, because they haven't put it together. Because again, they've separated it, because keeping it separated and away from other things lessens the blow, doesn't it? And doesn't make it look as bad. Do you know what I mean? Because if you do the research, like the Army cadets, those who are being prosecuted with the Army cadets, the Sea cadets, the Scouts, do you know what I mean? The Cubs, the Girl Guides, and all the rest of it, what you can search up yourself and do. The question always remains the same in everything: how many were Freemasons? Do you know what I mean? And the answer is fucking all of them. Do you know what I mean? But they're so good at, you know, shushing shit up, yeah? Because Netflix ain't going to do it because that's fucking Masonic anyway, yeah? The men who are speaking there, yeah? They've got suits on, they're well-to-do, so they're fucking Freemasons anyway. I know they are because they're well-to-do. Do you know what I mean? Because if they did speak out, they would be getting gang stalked, harassed, and they'd be piss poor with fuck all, or they'd be killed. Do you know what I mean? And that's what happens when you're a whistleblower. But anyway, that's another story, my Profane friends. But they're questions that need to be asked. Do you know what I mean? Why didn't you mention the Army cadets? Why didn't you mention the Cubs? Why didn't you mention the Girl Guides? Do you know what I mean? And again, is the common denominator through all of that? How much was Freemasonry involved in it? And again, like I said, if Scub, you know, the Scouts, yeah. You know, you got the Fleur de Pis, which we know is Masonic, and it was built by Freemasonry, and they got so much history within the Scouts, yeah, all that charity work they did within the Scout work, yeah, you know, charity this, charity that, blah, blah. Why ain't the question asked about Freemasonry? Because again, it's all about that Masonic, shh, don't mention the Freemasons, because if they had it done, that'd be finished. That would end them and finish them anyway. Do you know what I mean? You know that, I fucking know that, and that's why people never speak out about Freemasonry, because it ends people and it kills people. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, let's move on, my Profane friends. Remember, I love you. It's such a beautiful day. Ooh, baby, look at that. Look, the Baptist Church. Do you see what I mean? And this is what I'm telling you. See, look, there's your Masonic. Look. See, the Grand Master. Now, what happens, right, yeah? Right, this cornerstones, right, yeah? Right, now they're supposed to have, like, you know, and if they're true to their rituals, is there a body inside these cornerstones? Is there bodies? Yeah? In this cornerstones, look. Are there bodies? Are they mixed? Is the cement and the mortar been mixed with blood? You know, is this Baptist church been decimated through Freemasonry and their blood rituals? I don't know. Good question though, isn't it, eh? And here we go with another child that cementing up with her little trowel, the cornerstone, look, you see what I mean? The ceremonial stones, look. And again, here she is, look, she'll be an Eastern Star, well groomed into being the next leadership of us, the Profane community. Do you know what I mean? And that's what they're willing it down to. You know, she'll be groomed in Freemasonry to hate the profane, to avoid the profane, yeah, and don't mix with the profane, and certainly do not employ the profane. You know what I mean? She'll be groomed into another situation. You know, she'll be groomed away from any profane people. She ain't going to a profane school or anything else. She's the next generation of corrupt Freemasons that are going to be there controlling you. You know what I mean? Again, look, I'm now showing you again the Army cadets, look, young kids groomed by old men, look, and this is the Royal Air Force Air Cadets, you know what I mean? Yeah, you see? Free Masonic news, look, and that's what I'm saying. This is, you know, they're grooming your children all the time, regardless of what it is. Ain't just the Scouts, yeah, they're doing it to the Army, the Navy, do you know what I mean? The land, the air, and the water, you know, Army cadets, sea cadets, air cadets, do you know what I mean? They're grooming this army ready all the time. So if it ever kicks off, these kids, yeah, are going to be doing what Hitler done back in whenever it was. They're going to be fighting you, the profane, yeah, because they're going to be sticking up for these people in the lodge. They think they're in, you know, this man here, these old men here, yeah, they give an order. These little youth, these here with the gun, these little kids, yeah, with the guns, are going to shoot you because this old man here has groomed him, even though he's not wearing his Masonic apron. They're going to follow orders. Do you see what I mean? But all these in the background, all these old men are all Freemasons controlling this youth here, and these are more than likely profane people, you know, children. But they're going to do what they old adult Freemasons that ain't wearing their aprons, they're going to do what they're told because they're being already groomed into that. You know what I mean? They're being groomed for that. You know what I mean? To fight against you. They use you against you. You know what I mean? Oh. So, well, you know what I'm on about, don't you? My profane friends. We're not daft on them now. Look, here we go again. Look, they've got their little stalls. This is what they do when they have a fete or a stall. Look, you know what I mean? You know, they're the ones controlling it. Look, old men, and the youth, do you know what I mean? But when they give an order out, they're going to follow that order. Here they are, look, in the Masonic Lodge, look. There's your army, look. See? So when I say the Freemasons are an army, I mean literally they're a friggin' army. Do you know what I mean? Here's your worshipful master, yeah? And there's all his army, look, of the youth today, see? So when I say the Masonic army is an army, I mean they're an army. Do you know what I mean? And you can see the girls in there, look, there's girls and boys, and they're all going to be given a gun, and all they're going to be shooting is you, and they're going to be following orders, because they're being groomed to respect the one thing that they want them to respect, and that's the Freemasons and the worshipful army of gods. You know what I mean? Because they think they're gods. Do you know what I mean? And it don't matter where you look, where you go, these people are there. Look, see, she's now doing it. Look, the girls, see, all the Freemasons. Do you see what I mean? So don't think just because they're women that you're safe. They're not. They're more deadlier than the men. See? So there's the Masonic army there. Look, see? Now again, this army here, yeah, right? If they weren't in a Masonic lodge, you wouldn't even associate them with a Masonic lodge, would you? Do you see what I mean? But they are. They're all being groomed. All the kids are being groomed, ready to fight the profane if need be. And these people here are going to follow and respect the person who's in charge. Yeah, the one with the badge and the insignia, whether it's one stripe, two stripe, or a crown on his fucking head. Do you know what I mean? But all of these have been groomed to follow them orders, and even though it comes from the worshipful master, you know, and that's what it's all about: grooming the youth to attack profane people. Here it is again, look, worshipful master, look, yeah. And then you've got these here already, Army, Cadet, Air Force, whatever you want to do. More than likely the profane ones are had their bums stretched, but it's all about grooming that army ready for the next generation. Do you see what I mean? They're there to protect the, you know, protect the old lords, dukes and earls, and all they are is profane people, and they think they're doing the job of protecting, you know, whatever, but they're being groomed in the wrong way, because they're only protecting the lords, dukes and earls of the corrupt people that are doing all of this. You know what I mean? Again, look, Murfield Masonic Lodge, look, there's your army, the Army Cadet Force. You know what I mean? Look, they're sponsors by Dr. Warren Lodge, yeah? But the guy who's in charge of all these army cadets, yeah, is a Freemason. See what I mean? Because they're the Masonic army. They just don't stand there. This army here should all have aprons on, because that's who they're representing. You know what I mean? You know, again, if you made a law where people in the army had to put an apron on, you'll see that all the people at the top ranks, you know, like captains, generals and all that, they're all Freemasons. And when they give an order, all these profane people are going to think they're doing the job for you know, that they're doing it for their country and their God, when they're actually just fighting for their fucking Grand Masters and the Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? They never come out and do it in the open, do they? You know, look at the bottom of here. If I can get it to go up, I don't know. Look at this. Look, there's an army unit there. Look, see, there it is. Look, there's an army unit. Do you know what I mean? And behind that, like I said, their uniforms are their suits. They could wear suits. They could be your town hall. They could be your police officers. They can be whatever they want. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But behind it all, they don't wear these aprons up front. You know what I mean? They come in a uniform or a suit or anything else. You know, this is him here. Look here. Look, right in the middle. Look, see? These are all Freemasons. Look. Prince Charles, look, yeah, all there, look, you see? They're all Freemasons, but this is who they're grooming, look, the children, look. You see what I mean? Look, Deputy Past Grand Master launches new initiative. You know what I mean? And the initiative is, can we get more hungry hippos in to bum stretch the kids? Do you know what I mean? Again, look, see, look, women are just as prevalent as the men. Look, he's a flasher, that one, look. You know what I mean? He's got an incentive to bring in more flashers into the lodge. You know what I mean? So we can flash everyone. But here they are, look. There's the army, look. See, they show you they're the army, look. They're the booglers and all the rest of it. See? But look, they come across like this. They wear suits like this and you think, oh, he's an MP. How lovely. Him and his wife. But behind it all, they're all Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? You got to wake up to Freemason. There's the heraldry of it all. Look, the heraldry there. Look, oh, there's the heraldry there. Look, see, that's that family looking after that particular county or state. Yeah, and then families will keep control. You know, we've done that because we've done it through wars and conquering people to bend to our will. Because if you didn't bend to our will, we're going to kill you anyway. But they do it secretly now. Anyone who's a threat or whatever, they take them out. They kill them out, make an accident or whatever. You know what I mean? And they can do that because they've got the power within the towns and the cities with the corrupt gangs that they control. You know, like say scooter gangs, biker gangs, or whatever. They can kill anyone they want, any whistleblower or anyone who goes up against them, and that's what they do. But they still come out, and here they are, look, with the tools of their trade on how to entice children and kids into their Masonic lodge. You know, yeah, there's a teddy. You know what I mean? I bet you their bum stretch the teddy bears and all. You know what I mean? Bit of shaving foam up between the legs, and they're well in there, these ones, I'll tell you. You know it, don't you? Look, you know, look, see? You just don't know, you know what I mean, what they're into, these three, you know. But this is what it's about, you see? It's all about youth and children, you see? And only paedophiles are interested in children and keep going, you know what I mean? Look, here they go, look. Oh, baby. Look. They've even got little teddies sleeping with little teddies, look, on top of him, look, see? You got the old Meddy, look, see what I mean? Yeah, mate. Groomers, mate. Look, grooming, you know what I mean? Look. All these old men, look, with their little teddies, look. Do you know what I mean? Look, that poor girl, I think I've got a picture of her, look, surrounded by teddies, look. Old men and teddies getting the kids, do you know what I mean? Look, why was a Catholic priest talking to a Freemasons? Do you see what I mean? Catholic priests. You know, you think your priests ain't wearing Masonic aprons? Of course they are. They're just hidden. You know, look at that group I walked in on. The who was that? The Knights of Columbus. Yeah, they were. You know, the head Columbus was a priest. Do you know what I mean? So we've got a priest who's the head of the Knights of the Columbus. A priest, you know what I mean? So again, you know, but he goes around as a priest, you know, talking to people, getting their confessions, yeah, and doing the whistles blowing on anyone who's like, ooh, you know what I mean? And he's reporting to the lodge, but he's standing there as your priest. But really, he's a Knight of Columbus working for the Masonic Lodge. But people perceive him as a priest and respect him as a priest. But he's not a priest. He's a Masonic Knight, Columbus. You know what I mean? And that's what he is. He doesn't represent a priest or anyone of God or the clergy. He's actually decimating that fucking uniform because he wears a Columbus apron underneath that. You know what I mean? He's not a priest. He perceives himself as a priest, same as the police perceives themselves as the police, but behind it and underneath it all, same as social services, they're all wearing aprons. They're just hidden. You just don't see them. Look, again, look. See? Mad, mate. Look, you got the nurse, Eastern Star. You know what I mean? You got the child again in the middle. Hungry hippos on the outside. Kid in the middle. Do you know what I mean? We know what Savile did within the hospitals, didn't we? And the control he got. And he only got that power because through Freemasonry. You know what I mean? And there it is, look. Again, look. Old men and kids. Old men enticing kids. You know what I mean? And again, look, if you look, NHA, social care and frontline workers, yeah, yeah. But look at that, raise a rainbow. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. You know, this here, look, there's a uniform. Look, he's a teddy. Oh, how wonderful. He's a teddy. But behind that teddy bear outfit is a Masonic apron. You know, it's a Freemason within that bear suit. Do you know what I mean? But he's acting today as a fucking teddy bear. But he isn't. He's acting as a Freemason for Freemasonry. Same as these, look. You can go on and on and on. You know, people don't dance in hospitals and do music videos and all the rest of it when there's a pandemic on. Everyone's scared. Everyone don't want to be near anyone. Do you know what I mean? All of that. But no, you got the people going, dancing, singing. You know, I like to sing about the moon around a dune around a tuna, about the sky so blue and a tea for two. You know I love you. I love you too. Well, if you're profane, if you're a Freemason, hey, that's another story. But anyway, here we go, look. You know, again, it's Freemasons. Yeah, Provisional Grand Lodge of Northumberland. We've got the teddy bear. We've got the kid. And we've got the youth. And the old men and women ready to control that. Do you know what I mean? Look, you know, it's not normal, is it? Look, here's the Lord Mayor, look. Nurse Price on the left. And oh yeah, we've done that one. But there you go. And that's, you know, it's the same. They're habitual. Do you know what I mean? And again, look, here's the Freemasons, right? Here's an army unit, look. The Freemasons of army. Yeah, heraldry on the back again, look. The families that control that particular state or county, yeah, or town or city, depending on where you're looking at, you know what I mean? Yeah, City of Lancaster, look, see? So the City of Lancaster, these are the families and the heraldry in the background, yeah, that control the City of Lancaster, yeah? Do you know what I mean? And there's Murfield Masonic Lodge, and there again, they're holding the banners, yeah, of the families that control that area, yeah? And here we go, look, old men, look, yeah? Again, if you look, okay, and then you've got, again, there they are, look, he was a red beret, do you know what I mean, in the army, do you see what I mean? Because they control the army, they control everything. Again, here, look, Masonic Army Cadet Force, you know what I mean, Northumbria, they marchers, look, yeah, again, it's all Freemasonry, look. Provisional Grand Lodge, there's the heraldry, look, of the family that own it. You've got the Army Cadet Force as well, look. Make your mark, join today, you know, join the army today, look, see? And they're already being groomed. What they're basically saying is join the Masonic army, because they're all Freemasons, do you know what I mean? And when I say the Freemason is an army, they are an army. And when I say they're a gang, they are a gang, because they own all the gang. You research any gang, I don't care, biker gang, skinhead gang, whatever, all Masonically led by Freemasons that do work for the lodge. But they don't, like I said, but when they stand there with their steel cap boots on and ride scooters and that, they ain't got their fucking Masonic, they're just not wearing their aprons. Do you know what I mean? They're just not wearing their aprons. Look, here's another group, look. Yeah, the dog's got it right, innit? You know what I mean? Look. You know what I mean? All Freemasons. It's all shit. You know what I mean? But there you go, look. Again, look. The teddy bear, look. See? And it's just passed down, and they're all only doing what all these old men say. Do you know what I mean? And it's just groomed into them to do, you know. Look, again, it's the Army Cadet. They're now going on a march. Do you know what I mean? But how many of them out of that troop will be spiked, you know, or passed out because one of the, you know, the worshipful masters bloody thingy. Now here we go. This is interesting here. Back to the right, and I'll just let you read this, yeah. But let's go. See, look, but is also the whole system of supernatural truth. Freemasonry is not Christian. Now, this is the nepotism, right? Nepotism means it's willed down and passed down, yeah? Like, I'll give preference to, you know, like they'll give preference to their son or their daughter over anyone else, which is kind of, you know, that's acceptable anyway, I think. You know, if you know, people want to leave their children, you know, their what they've accomplished during life. The difference with Freemasonry is that they given there's nothing or no room for any profane person to get anything. Do you know what I mean? And if you have a business, they can destroy it like that. You know what I mean? So you ain't getting anywhere. And that's the difference between the nepotism of Freemasonry and the nepotism of Profane. You know what I mean? You cannot leave anything. You cannot have a history or anything if you're Profane. You've got to be a Freemason to be successful with a successful business that you can hand down to your children. You know what I mean? that it is a fact attested by experienced men of all countries that wherever masonry is influential, which is in every town and city, non-masons, the profane, have to suffer in their interests from the systematical preferment which masons give each other in appointment to officers and employment, because again, and it's specified in their own books if you read that, that they will not employ cowans or profane people over their own people. Remember, these people, these Freemasons, are a nation unto themselves within every town and city, and they're parasitic off the profane's back. You can't get anywhere. And you've got to understand this. Once you understand it and how your town and your city work, they go, oh, we're charity, we're good, with this, that and the other. But behind it all, if you look at them good enough and research them and follow them and do all the work and the homework on them, just the ones in your town, you'll find they're the most corrupt people within your community, doing the most damage to your community. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, even Bismarck complained of the effects of such mutual Masonic assistance, which is detrimental alike to civic equality and to public interests. In Masonic books and magazines, unlawful and treacherous acts performed in rendering this mutual assistance are recommended and praised as a glory of Freemasonry. And it is. You know what I mean? If you go for a job and you're up against a Freemason and that Freemason employs the Freemason, he's praised and glorified for doing that because he preferred a Freemason, and he'll get a badge for it. You know what they do in the Scouts, he'll get a badge for that. Oh, you well done, brother. Now everyone will slap him on the back and say, hey, oh, you've done well. You fucked that profane person right off because they're without the temple. They're not part of our nation and they're not in our community of people. Do you know what I mean? That's why you can't get nowhere. You know, they run all the hotels, they own all the pubs, they own all the clubs. Do you know what I mean? And they've got all their doormen running the clubs and with their drugs, and it's free for all selling the drugs to the profane people. Do you know what I mean? Because that's where all your children go, and then they got the influence of them in the community within the pub. Do you know what I mean? Again, I can't go too much into the pubs, but I remember sitting there, and it was the same people that, that have gang stalked me. They're all perverts, each and every one of them. You know what I mean? Each and every one of them, I got them called out as perverts. Do you know what I mean? And they're the main stalkers and the main drug dealers, and I'm talking 30 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Standing in the pub going, this, that and the fucking other, and everyone's respecting them and fucking that, giving their little funny handshakes because I know what they are now. Do you know what I mean? But each and every one of them, I got on tape recording that they're perverts. Do you know what I mean? Each and every fucking one of them. And then still stands today of what they represent. Do you know what I mean? Mad. But that's what it is, nepotism, and it's in every town. You are getting nowhere because of Freemasons running your towns and running your cities, and you're getting no fucking where. And it's all there done by design. They bring in everything, so everything's difficult, and that's all a distraction. So not long as you're not looking at Freemasonry or investigating Freemasonry, they're fucking happy. You know what I mean? Again, look, Masonic wars, the French Revolution was caused by Freemasons. And this is what's got, again, like you see our king now or the queen, they were scared to go against or oppose Freemasonry because Freemasons could wipe them out, literally, and oppose them, and they don't care. They could do it today. In 100 years, people forget about it. A bit like Lady Diana, took her out. What's said about it today? Nothing. No one fucking complains because they know time is on their side all the time. Things at 9/11, what goes on about it now? People post about it, remember? But the main majority of profane people that are dumb don't say shit. You know what I mean? Not a thing, because they know time's on their side. So they get away with kill. Jill Dando killed Jill Dando because she was looking into them. You know what I mean? What's been said about it? Nothing. They're getting away with it all the time. They're shushing up people, killing them or making an accident on all sorts of people. In Hollywood, in the music industry, wherever they need to shush people up that goes against them. And they get away with it because the first responders that turn up, what you see as a doctor, a nurse or an ambulance driver or whatever, you're putting your faith and trusting in them, and you're not asking, well, is he now getting in that ambulance with a bunch of fucking Freemasons that want to silence him? is that doctor that now treating them in that hospital, is he going to shush him up because he's been ordered by the lodge? Do you see what I mean? You know, you're surrounded by Freemasonry and you don't know it, and how dangerous that is. You know what I mean? But there you go. I'll just let that, and you can read these bits yourself. And just pause that, you know what I mean? And then you can read that yourselves, these bits, yeah? Look, simple, affordable funerals, yeah, by Freemasons that fucking make it so extreme that profane people can't afford to be buried. The amount of people who I know here that have gone into pauper burial sites because they can't afford a funeral. Do you know what I mean? Everyone deserves to have a funeral, but not here, because the people that run it, if you look into it, are Freemasons. You know what I mean? The documented Freemasonic hatred of Christianity and Freemasonry naked assault on Roman Catholic Christianity. Like I said, all you got to do is just pause it and read it yourself. I just thought I'd let you have a little interest on that. You know what I mean, my profane friends? That's a Masonic cat that got bum stretched by the Masonic Lodge. Again, look, you see, look, the Roman Catholic defence of Christianity, and again, look, against Freemasonry since 1738. What has been done against Freemasonry? Nothing, because they've done it all secret, you know what I mean, and wormed their way into every society and every nation of people. They're a nation of people living within a nation of every nation, do you know what I mean? You know, they're living within the nation of Germans, they're living within the nation of French, they're living within the nation of America, they're living within the nation of India, they're living within the nation of Africa. They're all one nation of people though, do you know what I mean? But they're living as a parasitic nation within all nations and being parasitic about it, do you know what I mean? Again, look, is an army unit, look, right? Again, look, they got the world maps on their back, look, you see what I mean? You know, they love to brag, these Freemasons. And here we go again, look, this is their navy, I think. Is it that? Yeah, it looked like their navy. But again, look, here he is, look, old and young, and they're honouring all themselves again. Yeah, this is I don't know who this is. I think this is the Air Force, I think. Yeah, they're the Air Force, isn't it? So again, you know, like I said, they control the air. You know, it's the land they control, it's the air they control, and it's the water they control. Their law, yeah. But they just don't do it up front. They control it all, but they just don't do it up front. Again, look, Wiltshire Army Cadet Force, look, all been bummed by worshipful masters. And then you got the Winnow's Sons, look, Masonic Bicycles Association. Because like I said, they're the 1%ers in the biker gang, yeah. They call, like, so they're in a biker gang, yeah, they're the 1%ers, you know, and I ain't got to name anyone specific, or, you know, a scooter gang, yeah, right, and the people at the top of that leadership are Freemasons. So when they, and then you got the profane people that ain't got a clue they're Freemasons, yeah, but they're still following orders from those leaderships at the top, yeah, not realising that they're actually being led and ordered by Freemasons that are hiding behind an apron. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it's all about, you know. Here we go, look, the Widow's Sons, yeah, a lot of them are bikers, you know, but they're all involved with other, you know, other biker gangs that are, you know, but they're the leadership of those biker gangs, you know what I mean? And there's a brotherhood between it. So you imagine that, yeah? And again, I've got another video. This is part 2. I'll show you in part 3 how that works, you know. So the Widow's Sons, you know, stonecutters and all that malarkey are all involved with the army, look. You see what I mean? This is what I'm saying. See, so they're involved with biker gangs and all sorts of gangs, you know, whether it's MS-18 and all that shit, all them Hispanic gangs and all the rest of it. They control all the gangs and they keep that chaos going, you know, because it gives their people a job to fucking do. But it's the ones that get arrested are the profane, not the fucking leaders. You know what I mean? They always seem to be lucky enough to get away. Again, look. Freemasonry, look, yeah, look, Provisional Grand Lodge of Middlesex, yeah, look, again, all involved with the army. Look, you see, look, army. But this is how they want you to see them and perceive them. Old men that don't do any harm or anything. You know what I mean? Look, you see, look. Middlesex Masons, the military connection. See, they're always connected to the military, and they're always the leaders. So when they give an order, the people that are profane, that are, you know, the low levels, you know, like the privates and the, you know, and the 1 stripes or 2 stripes, even up to a sergeant, they follow the orders like fucking idiots, not realising that the orders actually and the commands actually come from the Masonic Lodge. Here we go, look. Middlesex Masons, the military connection, look, part 2, and here it is, look. These are all Freemasons, look, you see, because they run it, and they're all high rank, and look at the medals they got. Again, it's all about the medals, all about getting the stripes. Look at the cuffs, look, he's got Masonic cuffs on and all that sort of bollocks, you know. It's all, you know, it's all got the symbolism of masonry on it anyway. Do you know what I mean? All of these, look, they protect the Queen, Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? You know, Freemasons, they're just not wearing their aprons. Do you see what I mean? So when you get UN troops with their blue helmets that protect them from rays and that, they're just not wearing their Masonic aprons, you know. Look, he's a Masonic, Freemason. They're just not wearing their fucking aprons. Do you get it? Yeah? They hide behind their Freemason aprons, yeah? Look, Glittering Star Lodge, number 322. Back in the day, look, oops, sorry. I'm nearly done, I think, and then I ain't got to brag anymore about it. You know what I mean? You can go about, hopefully, and brag about it yourselves. Now, why ain't that waking up? Ah, there we go. If I scroll in a bit, look, see that? Look, that's a Hull Masonic gang of army officers. Yeah, look. See, they're an army. Yeah, but the army runs the army. Yeah, so you've got the army or the navy or the air force, whatever you want to say, but all the commanding officers are all Freemasonry, all representing Freemasons. Yeah, so the orders are coming from Freemasonry, even though you think it's a commanding officer, it's not. It's coming from the Freemasons, like this. Look, you see, Masonic Freemasons. There's the heraldry in the back, look, of the families. Yeah, and when these people fall out, it's only the families that are at war. Yeah, trying to control or gain that power over other Masonic lodges, and that's all it is. Again, look, builders of empires, yeah? Freemasons and the British imperialism, 1717 of 1927. See, Masonic war. This is where they're being a bit more honest, look, you see? They're out in their aprons with their Masonic, and this is what they are today, look. That's a police officer with his Masonic apron on, you know? FBI, look. Freemason, but he's in the FBI. Do you see what I mean? He's CIA. Do you see what I mean? This is what it is. This is what, you know, today, you know, you look at a policeman, you know, he's just not they're just not wearing their aprons, but they all represents Freemasonry. The whole system across the world is Masonically owned, Masonically ruled, and they're doing it by a tyrannical secret system of not wearing their fucking aprons. You know what I mean? Look, the Liverpool Masonic Rebellion and the Wigan Grand Lodge, look that up. My God, baby. But, you know, any rebellion, yeah, they're the ones that have got the power to make civil wars, to make a rebellion. You know, they're the ones who are organising all the marches for you guys. You know, when you go on a march, that's being organised by Freemasonry. And the reason it gets about, and the march is popular, is because the Freemasons are making that. You know what I mean? I could give you an example now. If I start to arrange a march within Great Yarmouth, for instance, right? Yeah, and I put it about and I do this. I was going to be a march. No one would turn up. No one. The only marches when people turn up is when the Freemasons organise it. Yeah, and they make it so, and then it looks like something's being done. They've handed you a placebo. Yeah, and you go, oh, I've marched. I've done my good. You know what I mean? But you've done nothing. You've done exactly what the Freemasons wanted you to do. March and then go fucking them. You know what I mean? Here you go, look at that. The military connection. See, this is what it is. Look, he's a Lord Duke Gorell. He's the one that'll give you the orders to go into war, and you're fighting for him. Do you know what I mean? Look, ER. See, Freemasons are just an army. You know what I mean? Look, army cadets. Look, see the heraldry in the background. Look, see, army cadets. Look, army. They're just not wearing their Masonic aprons. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, these are the, look, here's the Lord Duke Orell, look, and he's the one who's going to command these people. Yeah, he's going to command these youth and these children to go to war like Hitler did, and they're going to go to war and they're going to fight you and not give two shits because they are honourable to that uniform, not knowing that behind the people that are giving them orders are all wearing aprons. Do you know what I mean? We're dumb enough to go to war, and don't, like I said, don't forget the women. You know, these are all representing their thingy, but they're all Freemasons. Look, you know what I mean? And they know it. Oh, look at this geezer. Oh, baby. Look, look, you appear to be a very paranoid little man, right? This is what someone said about it. This is, and I've got scripts galore, yeah? They always talk about you're either doing drugs, you're paranoid, or you need medical treatment or shit like that, yeah? And this is what you got to know about Freemasons, yeah? They always try to diss it, you know, and distance, you know, make you look like you're crazy, yeah? But look at this, look. Maybe everything that you don't know about isn't bad. You need to get some professional help with that. LOL. Yeah, I'm going to go get professional help from your Dr. Mason that stands there without his apron and is more than likely to prescribe me a bad drug that'll kill me within a couple of years or send me insane in the first place. Yeah, right. I'm going to go see your Masonic doctors. No, thank you. But anyway, now again, this is an important question. When people slag you off, yeah, on posts, yeah, the first question you should ask them, yeah, is now, are they actually speaking as a Freemason? Because you don't know who you're answering to and who you're replying to anyway, yeah? Or are they speaking as a profane person that has zero research? Do you know what I mean? Because they're two big important factors, you know what I mean? Because if they're speaking as a Freemason, then obviously you're going to say, you know, that I'm a paranoid little man, or that I need professional help, or I need drugs, yeah? We can understand that because you're speaking as a Freemason and you're defending that. But if you're speaking as a person who's just like you know, someone who likes, you know, saying shit for nothing, yeah, and, you know, as a wind-up with zero research into it, then both counts, really. Whatever you're saying doesn't mean shit. Do you know what I mean? You're going to say, I need help, I need drugs, and I'm professional because you're Freemason, and I'm saying, yeah, you know what I mean? You're going to try and you're going to try and decimate my name in them simple words. But you can also be saying it, you know, with zero research because your mind's not capable of expanding beyond the thinking sources of what you've been programmed on the TV and the people around you. But anyway, he was stupid enough to say, I'm a past Master Mason, you speak of things you don't know about. So I laughed at that. And then I put, I don't know about your, well, and I do know about their gang stalking. I know about their drug dealers within my community, my own personal community. And I get why you made your drone script statement. I've had lots of the same sentences, all words for word, of 666 Freemasons in the past. It was 322 times, but my rank as the GAOTMD owns you. You know what I mean? Which is I'm the Gautudermend, right? Which stands for Grand Architect of the Masonic demise. You know what I mean? I am the grand architect of the Masonic demise, yeah? Well, I hope I am, you know what I mean? Because these people need to go down big time, you know what I mean? I've had generations of gang stalking. I've got nowhere because of these people. They're scum within your community, you know? And I've been researching them for years, do you know what I mean? They think they're smart, but they're not, you know what I mean? They can be watched, they can be followed, they can be looked at. And that's just in the same way, and that's what I've done. I've reversed it on them. Do you know what I mean? So no one can tell me nothing. I know they're gang stalkers. I know they're drug dealers. I know they're perverts. Do you know what I mean? All of that. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's another story though. So let's move along. But don't let people online, just because someone makes a statement saying you're crazy, mad, or whatever, or you need drugs or whatever. Remember, that person could be anyone. You know, that could be odd. He might not even be a Master Mason or anything. He might just be some fucking dipstick. You know what I mean? The point of the matter, the fact is don't be disparaged by it. You know, because you know what you know in your own head. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, if he's talking as a Freemason, that changes things anyway. He's going to be against you. But is he, if he's not a Freemason, then he's got zero research on it. Do you know what I mean? And I've got the research done, and and I'm not talking shit. I'm talking facts. So, and then again, when he said to me, "You need professional help," I've said, "Well, are you saying that as you're in the Mason medical profession?" Do you know what I mean? Because they are, obviously, all the Freemasons are doctors. And we know all about that too. And then I've posted him where the grapevines of medicines are filled with tales of Freemasonry influence and more corruption and blah, blah, blah within the medical services, you know. So, yeah, so never be discouraged by people that post shit, you know what I mean? Because they're just, you know, they're just village idiots, do you know what I mean? And again, look, this is what I'm on about. Look at the buildings I'm now going to show you and what they own, okay, and the money involved. Look, the Grand Lodge of Maryland dedicates a courthouse. Look, see the courts, you know what I mean? They run the courts. Look, see, look, Queen Anne's Court, County Court, you know what I mean? Look, see, I don't know if you can see that, can you? Circuit Court for Queen Anne's County. Yeah, see, they run your counties, they run your towns, they run your cities, do you know what I mean? And like I said, they give it away within their own pictures and their own, you know. Look, brethren of hundreds of Evo Lodge visited the Lodge of Antioch. So hundreds of men, yeah, that are in this army and this gang, influential men that are all businessmen. Look, they're all millionaires. They've got all the money because they sponged it all from out the community, yeah, and they put nothing back in, not a fucking cent. Look, and let's not forget the women. Look, Women Freemasons Lodge making history in Washington, yeah? And they're not in this big building here, yeah? For nothing. Look, the heraldy's on the background. Look again, yeah? You know what I mean? Look, Women Freemasonry. Do you know what I mean? Provisional Grand Lodge of Middlesex. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean, my profane friends? Oh, it's gone. Again, look, an attorney, you see what I mean? Because they're your solicitors, they're your prosecutors, they're your defense lawyers, they're your judges, blah, blah, blah. Attorney White named master of a Masonic lodge in Eatfield. So you don't think he gets one of his little brethren come through his court, he's not going to do something about it? Of course he fucking is. He's going to shush up the case. Shh. Now, what I want you to notice here, and I think it's in the next picture, yes, it is, right? This is it, look. Merged Lodge strengthens Masons in Medina. See, strengthens, you know what I mean? They're always strengthening their number and their order of the Masonic shush. But what I want you to find interest of here, yeah, he's now taken his vows or whatever. He's got his hands on the sacred law and all that bollocks, yeah. Going, I will be a perfect bum stretcher and master molester within the lodge, yeah. But again, you can see the women and the men. But this is the interesting thing. Can you see them little cards above the worshipful master's chair there? Can you see it, look? Where, again, if you know the configuration of what I talk about all the time, you can see it, look, 3 steps in masonry, 5 steps in masonry, subtotal 7, and then they put 1 above, 1 below, and then you get the 9 steps in masonry. Do you see what I mean? And that's what I talk about, you know. And if, like I said, you just got to go through their pictures and read, you know, their magazines and their books, and you can see all the symbolism of it, all there, what I've shown you within my videos. So there it is. That's the 9 steps of Freemasonry, right above the worshipful master's chair. Look, see, 2, 3, 2. Look, it's 2, 3, 2, and then 1 above, 1 below. Give you the 9 steps. Do you know what I mean? And then we know what that means. Obviously, it's 6, 6, 6, blah, blah, blah. And if you just like, and I can't do it with here, but if you notice, it's 9, yeah, right, which gives you the Masonic Magic 9, which I've talked about again, yeah. So there you go. Like I said, it's 3, 3, 3, yeah. If you look at it, it's 3, 1, 3, 3. So there's 3 levels, yeah, of 3, which subtotal to 9, yeah. If you get what I'm saying, all right. So it's 3, 3, 3, yeah, 333. So 3, 3, 3, what does that add up to? Work it out. 9. But that's their magic 9. But it's also, like I said, it's 2, 3, 2. And it's 3 steps in masonry, 5 steps in masonry, subtotal 7, 1 above, as below, gives you the 9, and then that makes the square and compass, and that represents 666. And that's in their own lodge, look, you see what I mean? So there you go. Again, in here, look, Masons ready, open a new lodge. Now, they won't open a new lodge, right, unless they could fill that lodge. So that means possibly there's got to be minimum of 30 members. So they're opening a lodge because there's 30 members in this particular area. See, so they're always opening more lodges. There's the big G. Look, there's the worshipful masters and the deacon chairs. And look behind there, look, you can just see it. Look, the Eastern Star. Do you see it? Look behind that chair. Look, there it is. Look, the satanic Eastern Star. But here we are. Look, the two old men. Look, you know what I mean? Oh, there it is. Look, you got one there. You don't even have to go. Look, there it is. There. Look, see, Eastern Star. Look, in the Masonic lodge. Look at his lovely tie. Look, little peasant. I mean, look at his Masonic tie as well, look, in the configuration of 232. Look, I love it. It's beautiful. I always look for their pins, man. You know what I mean? Again, look, hundreds of Masons. See, this is why they open new lodges. See, they make out they're on the decline. Yeah, that's the biggest trick of Freemasonry. They're not on the decline. They're growing and growing and growing all the time, and they're outnumbering you, the profane. You know what I mean? Soon, like I said, they already control your towns. They already control your cities. They control your police forces, all with majority men within them different structures, you know, whether it's social services, the police, they control the majority of everything, yeah? Whether there's a vote in Parliament, they control the majority because they're the left side and the right side. They're also the fucking centre, you know what I mean? They're the red lodge, the blue lodge. They're the red side, the blue side, you know what I mean? You know, obviously I'm concentrating on the UK at the moment, but the same as in America, you know what I mean? If there's a vote, they go, oh, as a coach, you know, they just put these groups up, you know, whatever that, you know, that group, that community group was being led by whoever, yeah, and they go, oh, we're against them and they're against us. That's a total load of bullshit. Do you know what I mean? What's actually happening is they're playing you for fools, yeah, pretending they're against each other, so they keep you divided, yeah. The question is, how many of our leaders are in this group, regardless of what group it is, within government, you know, how many are Freemasons? And that's what the question is, you know what I mean? And you'll just find they're just playing you for fools, you know what I mean? And so long as you keep fighting them and you know, and they're fooling you into believing that they're standing there in a suit for the Tories, or I'm standing here in a suit for the Conservatives, and you're believing that there's two sides to the coin, then you're being mugged off, do you know what I mean? And they're going to keep getting away with it. But when you see the vote go up, they're actually voting because in amongst both sides of the parties are all Freemasons, and they make sure the majority vote is always going in whatever way they want and what they're ordered to follow within the lodge. But here we go, look, hundreds of Masons, you know, we're talking thousands of Masons, do you know what I mean? Look at that army, look, all old men. But if you look for the youth are there as well. Look, you see him, look, with the plain, look, apron, look, he's just an entered apprentice, look, you see, little peasants. They're recruiting all the time, men and women, look. See, how many of your friends can you do? Like, if you're profane now, yeah, honestly, how many people like this? These people here are all one unit, yeah, one army unit, one gang. They're all owners of the businesses within your town, within your city. How many of you can roust up this amount of people to help you in your town? None of you. Here they are, look. Yeah, Grand Lodge of Maryland to honour John Paul. But look, here they are, look, marching, look. See, look. Worshipful Masters. Look, that's an army on the march, look. See? I'm just showing you a bit. Again, look, and it doesn't matter if you're black, white or green or an alien or whatever, yeah? Right, look, here we are, look. You see? And look at the pattern on the left side of the Masonic floor, look. You'll notice the pattern is the same as, oh, baby, what one was it? I can't remember now. It has the lizard eye, doesn't it? Oh, I don't know. They do like tortillas and all that sort of stuff, don't they? It's the same pattern there anyway on their bloody thing because it's Masonically owned. But there you go. There's another army there, look, you see? And they're going to trick us that there's going to be a war, yeah, between the blacks and the whites or whatever, you know, and they're going to trick us into fighting each other. But the people who will come out on top will be these men, you know, whether it's black or white. The only people that will come out on top of that war will be the Freemasons because they don't give two shits. So long as the profane is a profane, yeah, whether you're white, green, blue, black, green, yellow, whatever. If you're profane, they don't care. You can kill yourselves all day long. It doesn't matter. But the end result of them two armies that have fought, and all the profane that have been killed fighting the war for the Freemasons at the top, the only thing that matters is the people at the top, the lords, the dukes and the earls that get all the money, the gold and everything else. You know, that nation of Freemasons go on. Do you know what I mean? And here they are again, look, another army, look. Yeah. And then right in the middle, look, we've got the dick worship of Freemasonry. You know what I mean? Because they own it all. You know, they you know, it's the same as like the swastika. You know what I mean? They stick everywhere, but they don't put the swastikas up. You know what I mean? They put, yeah, they do when they you know, they have these certain armies again, so that give you something to point at, you know, this, that and the other, and they pretend and they manipulate the war on both sides and all sides, but they're responsible for it. So long as the profane are fighting and killing us, it's the family men that go to war, do you know what I mean, and leave their families behind. The only ones that don't go to war are the Freemasons, do you know what I mean, that are the lords, the dukes and the earls, do you know what I mean. They do all the directions. But here it is, look at that army, look. And all these men here, right, will be followed by this one worshipful master, and he'll get directions from the lords, the dukes and the earls. Do you know what I mean? This is the old Lincoln County Courthouse, look. See, so you imagine that, look. Lincoln County Courthouse again, look, is a Masonic lodge, look. See, with the G, you got Jachin and Boaz. You know what I mean? There's the Masonic wand there, look. That's a Masonic wand there, look. See the wand, look? They're the wands, look. Because they're magicians within the lodge. There's the hammer. You know what I mean? Or the maul or the mallet. Look, notice the chairs, the X's on the chairs, look. To Twitter. You know what I mean? Look, because that X is very important to Freemasonry. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's another story. I just thought it was interesting. But look at the buildings they own. This is what it's all about. Look, Bolden Masonic Hall. Look. How much money do you think that is? Who owns that? Do you think a profane person owned that? Or would you think a lord of the manor? Or a duke? You know what I mean? This is the sort of buildings these Freemasons own. See, the real nation of Freemasons own all of this. You see? That's what it's all about, baby. Oh. Here we go, look, another lovely building, the Freemasons own, look, see the, what's that called, the pyramid there, look, with the all-seeing eye in the middle. Then at the top, look, you've got the square and calm piss. You've got the, on left and right side, you've got this, the point within a circle, obviously you've got the star, and then you've got the point within a circle again with the down pyramid, which is another thing, and I forget, I can't remember. And then at the top, look, you've got the world domination balls, look, you see? Who do you think owned that? Do you think a profane person owns that? Who's piss poor, that's working in a factory, owns that building? No, a Lord, Duke or Earl owns that building. Same as this one. Dallas Loman, look at the size of the building. Do you think you will ever possibly own this building? Or do you think that'll be willed down to another Masonic family? No, it's willed down by the Masonic families to keep the ownership within their bloodlines, do you know what I mean? And their family history goes on and on. Do you know what I mean? They're the builders. They build your towns, they build your cities, but everyone else who's within it, working it, yeah, are the slaves. Do you know what I mean? Look, do you think you'll ever own a building like this? If you're profane watching this now, do you think in your lifetime you're ever going to own a building like this? Do you think your family in 50 years will ever own this building or any building within your town or city of this? Do you think you're going to ever own a building like that? How about this one? Okay? Do you think you're going to own a building like this? Another Masonic lodge, of course. You know, look at the money. How much do you think that building's worth? What we've just seen now, all them lodges. How about this one? Huh? Ballamaracket Masonic Hall. Look at the value of that. Look how much value is into that. Do you think, as a profane person, you or your family or your descendants will ever own a building like that? No, you won't. Here we go again. Look, we've got my leadership, because this is what I was all about: Freemason and leadership, leading the profane. So long as they lead the profane, like the Judas goats they are, down the wrong path, they're happy. Yeah, as you can see, there's a Masonic lodge up in flames there. Oh no, it ain't, that's a fire, sorry. As you can see, it's a Masonic fire. And again, the camp, you know, it's a leadership camp. So already they've got camps, yeah, for leadership, and they're looking for people that will lead the profane, yeah, because they don't come out in the open. Like I said, these lords, dukes and earls, they're all gone. They're all disappeared and hiding. You don't see them no more. Do you know what I mean? Never. Because they don't need to, because they've recruited half the profane people to do the dirty work for them. Do you know what I mean? And you've got a lot of people that are selling out their own people, their own nation of people, and don't even realise it. You know, like I said, Master Masons, you know, below and down, you're all cannon fodder. You know what I mean? Because if you think you're going to be, you know, anything that the profane people, you're, you know, something special because you're a Master Mason to these people that are Lords, Dukes and Earls, that are worshipful masters and, you know, Knights, Templars and all that and blah, blah, blah. If you think you're as special as these people, no, you're not. You're cannon fodder and you're just going to get it right in the swanny as much as we are. So don't think you're enough special. Look, Freemasons are attracting younger members thanks to, you know, and end up thinking, but here it is again, look, see? Youth, old perv. You know what I mean? Gang stalkers. You know what I mean? Again, look, old men. You know, hungry hippo game. You know what I mean? Youth in the middle. You know what I mean? There we go, look, see? Army. It's an army. It's a nation of people living within a nation of profane people. And again, I'll say it once more, don't forget the youth are female as well, all being groomed just as much as the boys are, okay? All right, here they are, look. These are the youth groups, look, see? Whoop, go down a bit, look. They're grooming the children all the time, constantly. They're never doing nothing else. It's always grooming for the next generation to come and look after us. You know what I mean? Yeah, free countries, right, where Freemasonry is banned. I want to move there. Do you know what I mean? Especially if Freemasonry ain't anywhere near there. Do you know what I mean? But I'm telling you now, they say it's banned from that country, but I don't believe it. Because Freemasonry can make a lodge wherever they want. It doesn't matter where it is, where they stand, they can make a Masonic lodge. Do you know what I mean? And they have travelling lodges anyway, so they could put a travelling lodge that's always moving about in there. And trust me, they're in these countries. They're not banned from any country. You know what I mean? So anyway, you can read that and pause that at your leisure. But the three countries, right, is Pakistan, Saudi Arabia and Italy. Well, if we know about the Freemasons within Italy, and they still run that today, then that this equates, again, this has more than likely been written by a Freemason anyway, but you can read it for yourselves, you know what I mean? But it's a load of crap, you know what I mean? Again, here we go, look, Youth Orders Observation Month, yeah, ideas, Masons in Freemason. Again, look, you've got all the old farts and all the old men ready to groom the kids in the background. You see the youth, look, you see? Even the hippie, look, you see the hippie in the background, look, he's a Freemason. They come in all disguises. They're not just, you know, you don't know who's a Freemason, you know. Look at that one that run past me the other day. I don't know who he was. Could have been anyone. I wouldn't have known he was a Freemason if he had his shirt on, because I wouldn't have seen the tattoo. You know what I mean? This is the thing, isn't it? And when they're coming in their police uniforms, you don't know if they're Freemasons or not, because they're standing there representing a policeman, but behind it they're representing Freemasonry. And this is the thing with Freemasons, they don't stand there in their Masonic aprons, but there they are, look, there's the army, you know, that's it, you know. Again, the youth are in the middle and the old men around the outside, like the hungry hippos. Here we go, look, youth and families, Masonic homes, look, again, female with the male in the middle. And don't forget, women are abusers as well, and if you ain't sure of that, just research that. So just because someone's a woman doesn't mean she ain't an abuser. You know what I mean? Look, murder and mayhem with the Masons in Lima. I can see, yeah, that's about right. Murder and mayhem within the Masonic Lodge as they ritually abuse and bum stretch the kids. Do you know what I mean? You can imagine it, can't you? It's about the only truthful fact they've ever said there. You know what I mean? Those MMs, Master Masons, Master Molesters are the best. Again, look, the Jodara, yeah, which is Job's daughter on the left, yeah, Demole in the middle, and the Rainbow Girls on the right. You know what I mean? And that's what that is. You see, these are the people. These people in these are all like bloodlines, yeah, that are family orientated, that have a long history of Freemasonry that goes back centuries and decades, yeah, right? And this is what they join, and they're the next leaders to take on keeping you, the profane, under their jackboot, you know what I mean? Masonic youth training teens in occult philosophy. You see what I mean? Look, Rainbow Girls, Order of the Demole for the boys, and the Job's Daughter, where they're a little bit older and they're teens. Do you know what I mean? But there they are, look, you see? And that's what these are. On the surface, these youth organisations seem harmless, but they are candy-coated versions of Freemasonry's ungodly doctrines, oaths and rituals. Even more, they build up the egos of the girls and boys through impressive titles like, and here we go, just what I was on about. It's not just about, the badges they get. It's about the wealth and the gold and the money they get as well, yeah, as well as the titles, yeah, the ego titles, which is like senior princess, worthy advisor, honoured queen. Do you know what I mean? And, all them other ones I've shown you, the titles they bestow on themselves, what mean fuck all in society anyway, super grandmaster and my tongue up that, whatever they go on about. Do you know what I mean? All them different titles they got and the ranks, what means nothing in society, but to them, it's a true rank, and just the same as a sergeant, a corporal, a lieutenant, or field marshal, and all the rest of it. That's how prevalent and understanding it is within the army, and they will follow orders. They're ordered to follow orders. If they don't, they're punished. Do you know what I mean? So protect your sons and daughters from these Masonic clubs. You know what I mean? Because all they're doing, yeah, like they don't care who joins, that don't matter. So long as they're dumb enough to be a ring of protection for those that are corrupt within the middle. And that's all it is. And the people there, like I said, you've got to be weak-minded. They go, well, that don't go on in my lodge. It don't go on. And they're just finding out all the time who's corruptible, who's not. And they're using people as a ring of protection. You know what I mean? Like I said, when they open the lodge, go to it. You'll see sentries on the outside marching around, protecting the internal workings of the lodge as they're abusing people or whatever, yeah. And these sentries on the outside are just like entered apprentices, you know what I mean? But they will ring up and they will stop people approaching that lodge. Oh, he's got past, shut down your ritual, stop bumming the kids because they're gonna. And then you'll walk in there and you'll just see them like playing games and that, with kids, you know what I mean? And everyone's put away, but. How can you, this is how they do it. They protect themselves because they've got sentries, patrolling and protecting what goes on within the lodge. Do you know what I mean? So there you go. And that's what these youth groups are for. Look, here it is. Look, these are all made up by Masons. Look, the marking, yeah. As you can see, look, are you a Mason? And he's putting a poker up his bum, look. You see what I mean? And then obviously the goat's involved, as you know, about riding the goat. Huh? Hey, baby. So yeah, so the riding the goat, physically they do ride the goat, and again the goat is here, look, and he's a master mason in the bath, look, but the bath is a reference of where they put the blood. Do you know what I mean? And they're bathing in blood, but with the goat. Do you know what I mean? The initiation, you see. And that's the Ashler company in 2016. See, some of this is like, it looks harmless, but what it is, it's showing you, what does go on within the Masonic Lodge. You know what I mean? They use these bathtubs for a lot of ritual stuff, Again, look, you got Rainbow Girls here, look, within the pyramid. Look, see? You know what I mean? When they're groomed, look, they're groomed. Look at the symbolism on the outside, look, of their, what are they, capes or whatever, look. And you can see the Masonic symbolism, and it's noncy. You know what I mean? Or like, you know what it means. You've seen it, It's on the FBI list of what it represents, So that's what they do. Look, they're grooming your children, these children all the time, to be ring of protections, Some of these are born into it. The ones that are not won't get anywhere. You know what I mean? They'll never see anything. Do you know what I mean? And then when they turn around and say, well, it don't go in my lodge, I've never seen it. Like some of the people I'm arguing with, online, they go, oh, you're so off base, you don't know what you're on about. They're speaking the truth, because they won't be because they're not corruptible. You see what I mean? Because Freemasonry gets, people that are corrupt, and they want people that are not corrupt, so they can have that ring of protection of where it goes, no, that don't go on. But it does, you know what I mean? Again, look, see, look, young girls, Eastern Starlet, You know what I mean? And if you put two together, look, if you notice the way they got the sash turned up, you end up with square and calm piss. But there they are, look, you see? So it is a young youth group, and they're not building new Masonic lodges for nothing. See, look, him in the middle, look, yeah? He services the girls, and they're honoured to him, yeah? He's more than likely looked up to as a god, you know, like where they used to, like, you know, you get girls that, and men, that had put themselves out to be, you know, sacrificed for the benefit of the community. You know what I mean? The well-being as a unit, you know, so your crops will grow better or whatever, you know what I mean? All of that goes on within Freemasonry, do you see what I mean? So they'll offer themselves up to be slept with and pretend they're virgins or be made virgins, as I've shown you in my videos, you know, where they get, you know, their Masonic doctors to sew them up and make them virgins again. And then they offer them virgins to new Master Masons and things like that as perks of being a Freemason, you know. But again, you know, he's there, you know, they look up at him as a god. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. And they're born into it, you know, but there's others that ain't, which are there as a ring of protection. Again, look, is the Job's daughter. There's the leader at the front, look, and behind her, she has an inverted cross. You know what I mean? Because if the cross was the right way, you'd think she'd be at the head of the cross and the thing. But I don't know. Don't quote me on that, babies. But look at how many women there is in that army, look. See? Look at all them girls, and they're all in the Masonic army. See? Hundreds of them. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't know what happened there. Again, oh, you know, see, look. There's the worshipful master, look. Or masteress. There's the youth. You can see the heraldry in the background, look, with the square and calm piss of the family. Yeah. And there it is, look. The heraldry is the flag, you know, when it calls to war. That's who they, you know, they're the ones that make the weapons and more than likely reload the guns for the Master Masons. Do you know what I mean? And here we go, look, a top Mason there, look, His Royal Highness, the Earl of Wessex. Because again, like I said, he owns Wessex, yeah? He's the Master Mason of Wessex, yeah? The Lord, the Duke, the Earl, whatever you want to call it. And he's running that for someone in London, you know what I mean? And his family, more than, you know, he's spread all his family into certain towns and cities within Wessex, do you know what I mean? And they're running them towns and cities for him. Do you know what I mean? And they answer up to him, and then he answers up to that. Do you know what I mean? And that's how it is, and it goes up the pyramid. And so long as they keep tricking you into believing, you know, that, you know, they keep you fighting between yourselves. They're very good at that and clever at that. Do you know what I mean? And they use our own people against us, the profane. You know what I mean? They go, yeah, here's some drugs, go sell it, and you'll have wealth and power. You'll have the respect, you know, patting each other on the back in the pub and that, you know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. You know, you get the drug dealer walking in the pub, he hands someone 20 quid and says, get yourselves all a drink. And they all think he's lovely, the best of the best. You know what I mean? You're great, you're terrific. Look at that, you give us 20 quid. We all just bought a pint for 2 quid or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? And he's bought that respect for 20 quid. And all that's cost him is 2 bags of, you know, a little bit of powder. You know what I mean? And the decimation he does on your community is unreal, but he's respected by everyone. And everyone will defend him because he hands them 20 quid. And he's bought all their respect, and he's their dealer. But he's raking in thousands of pounds a week from dealing drugs and destroying families and family units. Do you know what I mean? Mad, making people homeless, making kids orphans, putting people in jail, all of that, what it entails. You know, I ain't gone into most of that, you know, a little bit I have, but not much. But again, this is all down to these people. They don't give a shit. Here we go again, look. The Earl of Wessex and His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent celebrate the Duke of Edinburgh's award donations at the Freemason Hall. And that's all what Freemasons do and protect. They're your lords, your dukes and your earls. And the more higher up you go, the more corrupt they are. But what they're doing and what they're clever at is recruiting profane people to look after their wealth and their interests within each town and city. And that's all it is. And so long as the people that have the businesses, the wealth and the, you know, everything like that, they're not going to move anywhere because they're getting all the money coming in, and they're living the good life. They eat well, they live well, they drink well, and they eat well. Do you know what I mean? We get nothing to profane. We're the homeless. We're always looking. They're keeping us busy, put it that way, looking elsewhere and not looking at them. And so long as we're not looking at them, they're happy. Here we go again. Look, Freemasons today. You know, your prime ministers are Freemasons, and then you wonder why they get away with corruption all the time. You know what I mean? Take us to war. It's only the Freemasons doing it, not a prime minister. It's the Freemasons being directed by these people. We better take them to war, because then we can, anyone who's like a bit of a truther and going to do it, we can stick them on the front line. They'd be killed. End of problem. Do you see what I mean? We also get depopulation, and any displaced kids we can bum in the lodge as we're going along. Do you know what I mean? That's what it's all about, you know. Again, look, Masonic Youth, the Grand Lodge of Florida. So again, you've got a load of youngsters here already being groomed into Masonic, you know, into a Masonic system or nation of people, and they reckon they're old fuddy-duddies. It isn't all, it's nothing to do with being old and fuddy-duddy. Freemasonry is all about youth and children. And that, my profane friends, ends the lecture. How sad. But there you go. You know what I mean, my profane friends? That is it. You know. End of, yeah, that is the end. So remember, when you see the Boy Scouts, yeah, and all what they're saying there, like I said, I thought these seriously, and here they come, look, this is an army, look, you can see the army here, look, you know, just from my very first video that I show you, you know what I mean, there's the army, look, the Masonic army of youth that are ready. You know, there's the worshipful master right in the centre. When will that stop? There you go. There's the worshipful master right in the centre, and all them boys, yeah, that are learning to respect him because he's their commanding officer. He's representing Freemasonry, of course. They don't realise that. They just see him as a commanding officer with an army uniform on, and that's what happens in everything. Now he could have a police uniform on now, yeah, and all them could be constables, but all them constables will do what he says because he's the chief of police. But underneath that, he's wearing a Masonic apron. You know what I mean? And all he's doing is tricking all these profane people, yeah, into being how to follow orders. You know what I mean? Just like they did in Germany when they rounded up all the old thingies and, you know, and done away or whatever they did. I don't know, you know what I mean? But that was all the communities that did that. And the reason the people in the communities did that is because then they could house themselves. Remember that. Yeah. Remember when they threw out the, you know, that indigenous people from their houses, yeah, and put them onto trains and shipped them off. All the houses that were empty, that allowed the Germans to occupy. Remember that, yeah? So whether they had a homeless problem in Germany at that particular time, it gets you thinking, doesn't it? You know, so, you know, like today, let's put it this way. Let's just say they go, oh, the profane this and profane that, right, and ship us on trains, yeah. This is why people will do it. And they had people helping them that were, you know, that were the indigenous species. They were like, you know, they were helping and going against their own people and helping to ship them in and, you know, lift them out of the ovens and all that sort of stuff. So because it kept them alive and they got privileges for doing that. Do you know what I mean? And that's what can happen today. You know, if the Freemasons, you know, rise up and they've got a uniform on, like an army uniform, and they give an order, all these people, all these profane people here will follow the order, but they think they're getting it from a commanding officer in their army when it's actually just coming from Freemasonry. And that's the trick. They use uniforms against us. You know what I mean? And that's the sad thing about it. But like I said, when they shipped all that indigenous species out of, you know, Berlin and all the rest of it and took them on the trains, all the houses that were empty were then occupied by the Germans, and they were going, yeah, wow, that was brilliant, that was good. And that's how that appeased them. Do you know what I mean? You know, and if they do that today, you know, it's a, you know, and I'm not saying it can't, because it can. You know, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to do the right thing and say no? Or do you think the people that hold the power, you know, within your towns and cities are going to do the right thing? No, they're not. They don't do the right thing now. They haven't done it for the last 50, 60 years. They've never done it. You know what I mean? Because you're profane. The only thing that matters is the Masonic Lodge goes on. The nation of Masonic people, the lords, the dukes and the earls, and the people that control your towns and cities, that give you all these stupid little rules, that's the only thing that matters to Freemasonry. It don't matter. As long as you're distracted and looking the other way, that's all that matters to them. Anyway, my profane friends, I don't know how to turn this off. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah, there we go. Right, my profane friends, I'll say goodbye. Remember, you are the best of 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 the best. And I love you all. Remember, being profane, be proud. If you're a Freemason, get out while you can. Because if you think that these lords, dukes and earls think any of you, you're just a ring of protection, and you're being used more than the profane people because you're dumb enough to join them. Do you know what I mean? So get out while you can, because we're going to come and get your assets anyway, because you've stolen everything. You've took our land, you took our water, and you took our air. You know what I mean? And you're poisoning it anyway. So anyway, my profane friends, have a great day. And remember, do not trust your Freemasons within your towns and cities. Investigate, watch, look, see, but keep shh, because the evidence isn't ready to come out yet, baby.